Yeah, I know that's getting kind of ridiculous, so maybe I shouldn't be so Wild West with the quality of my stream like that. To some degree, it is the brand, but at the same time, like, you want, like, even my audio is cutting out and stuff, so like it's not as uh, good as I want it to be. I don't want it to be like a garbage stream. I want it to be high quality, but I want it to be obviously a high quality stream, but I'm okay with like technology being iterated through, to work more refinedly, or to be a better experience. So if you watch any of these streams like early on, like you're just gonna have to watch through it all to see kind of where we're at. But Yeah, so I do think I want to at least I want to try to like look at Journal CTL real quick to see what the heck is causing it to crash, because like that's what I'm doing here is I am tinkering. Can I go to this is start? Okay, so I need to. It's been a while since I messed with Journal CTL and stuff, so I don't remember exactly the process. Um, and then of course my YouTube pay or my YouTube browser tab crashed on me again. What a surprise! Actually, you know what I'm gonna do is, well, I want to use ChatGPT for a second to see, you know, my Linux computer crashed. What journal command do I need to use to see the cause? I've messed with Journal CTL. I've used Journal CTL, obviously. I just don't want to have to remember. That's the. Yeah, this is the last boot, which is my boot. Um, the previous boot. Okay, just dash one. Well, that's the previous boot, though. The issue isn't booting. Oh, it's from the boot. Okay, so let's try that. It switched to that tab, by the way. I didn't do that. It switched there to tell me it crashed. Um, so, again, more optimizations to come. It was dash B1. And I'll know pretty quickly if this is it. Why is it showing January 13th? Date now? Why would Journal CTL be showing my boot record from, like, is it just B? No, it is dash B. From, okay, that was weird. So, 3,000 lines. Let's go all the way down to the bottom. So that's this boot that started 7 minutes ago. And number one shows a boot from a week ago. And obviously, this isn't the first time I booted this computer. So, like, there's something wonky with this computer, right? That, like, the boot record for the last boot before this one was a week ago, even though my computer has crashed like 6 times and I've booted multiple times. Huh. All right. This is the world of tinkering, though, right? Like, I've had very crazy things happen in production environments, and then it's a week of like diagnosing the problem. So, par for the course. um, yeah, coffee. I wonder if it has something to do with Kubernetes. Should I just shut down Kubernetes and stop running it? Like, there's no reason to be running Kubernetes right now. And I shouldn't be running it on here anyway. PS pipe grab. So, oh, it's K3S. There we go. Rancher. Okay, I want to kill this. I don't want this running on boot. So let's kill it for now. There we go. Operate. Okay. I didn't type my password correctly. 1 second. All right, there we go. Also, I need to check the sound quality because I just heard my headphone crackle, and that might be an indication as well. I'm just trying to be totally observant. Okay, it was working. Okay, the idea is to make this so that like crashes never happen, right? Like, but we have to get to there, um, and so the audio is perfectly flawless, right? And like, But anyway, early days, and like this is the kind of stuff that is going to be nostalgic, but also it's going to be stuff that like in a couple years from now, um, I'm pretty sure I'm the only person on the internet that's doing this, which is crazy. Out of 8 billion people, I can't think of another person that's actually taking their personal computer that is not barely even stable and showing the world the trials and tribulations that I'm going through, right? Like, and making it better, right? With you, right? Um, which is just absurd because like this is normal to me. Like the only reason I haven't done this sooner is because I've been too busy. So that's running. Okay, cool. And I think I'm gonna maybe not running Qt browser will save me a couple more milliseconds of time on my uptime. So I'm in a weird spot where I can't really dive further because it doesn't have the boot record. Let's do TLDR journal. And let's see if they can give me a good command here. Um, priority. All right, show all messages with priority 3 errors from this boot. Yeah, I don't want this boot. I know that this boot's fine because I'm already in it. Journal CTL logs which are older than 2 days. Okay, well, actually, let's do that for a second. Let's do 1 day because I want to see if it actually has yesterday. Let's do sudo. I say sudo. Okay. Wait, is that? It's not showing them. It's just. Oh. It's hey, it's okay. It's okay that it deleted it because it's going to crash. So at least now I don't have all that old stuff. That's funny. That's funny. Okay. That's yeah. But uh, yeah, that's funny. TLDR. So, but that's still yesterday. I want to see today's output from the crash a couple minutes ago. So I'm not totally dark. Um, show logs for a given unit. Like I don't know what a unit is. I mean, I'm an absolute unit, but I don't know what a unit is in this context. Filter messages within a time range. Either timestamp or placeholders like yesterday. Yeah, so today, let's try that. Journal CTL since today, since, yeah, I'll just do since yesterday, even though I deleted yesterday. That's weird. You can do since tomorrow. What the heck is that? And until has to be a timestamp. Okay, so let's do date now, and then I want to do journal CTL since yesterday until 2024 01/7. 18, and then the HH. Okay, so that's 14, 19. Let's do 1406, 00. No, 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 no. Let's do 14. My uptime is 12 minutes, and, huh? Hey, oh, I bet this was a new shell issue. Because it's an object, and I'm passing in two values to a flag. Can I make it a string? Probably not. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a new shell thing. That's funny. So this is okay. That's last night, and I hit shift G. Take a second because it's a lot of logs. To now. Okay, so let's go up and see what happened. Wait, what was that? Promo characteristic, Bluetooth. Oh, so that's my keyboard or my mouse or my headset's not. It's Bluetooth, but it's a separate thing. Yeah, I might be losing some audio. Also, I thought I killed Kubernetes before that. Let's go back down to the bottom and see if there's any. Yeah, it's still failing with Kubernetes. Okay, let's solve that real quick because that's annoying. There's like an init D or something like system CTL stop disable K3S, and then let's stop it as well in case it's still running and disable it and kill it. Ah, I got typed my password incorrectly. By the way, I have some really good ideas on password management. Not management, like passwords in general, like how to like what your password should be. And I'll give you an example, um, real quick. So, um, I'll give two examples. I'll give my Wi-Fi password right now. That's my password for Wi-Fi. So when someone asks me, they come to my house and they say, "What's your Wi-Fi password?" I say, "The password is 12345 6 exclamation point with capital letters starting each word." And they look at me like, "What in the hell did you just say?" And I said, "I spoke English. The password is 12345 6 exclamation point with the letters, with the first letter of each word being capital, no spaces." And so my password is so good that I have to explain my password to people. Another example, I'm not going to give a real password, but let's say I have a well, there's that meme, there's the XKCD thing about like, what was it? Battery horse staple, whatever, right? It's an XKCD comic. It's a really good one, and it's so good that I remember the terminology on the fly, right? I remember 3 of the 4 words. Battery horse and staple. I can't remember the 4th word. Um, and then like how you remember it is a mnemonic. Well, no, just do something like pretty simple, like like something that relates to you, and write the word out. So let's just say like something that relates to me. Let's just say Linux. Linux is cool, right? Like whatever. That's not a good one. Let's do something better, like um, coffee, yum, right? Because that's like not easy to guess. And coffee, yum, right? Okay. Now here's the thing. That's not your password. Coffee, yum should not be your password. But guess what? Coffee, yum should be your password because you can remember coffee, yum. So like this isn't like because people are like writing like password 123 because they don't want to remember something. Just remember a phrase like your favorite basketball player, right? Like, but like the nice thing about coffee yum is that can be my password for the rest of my life. I just have to remember what my last characters are, and maybe I change the sequence of 3 and E, and I can have this be my YouTube password. And obviously, this is not the best example because you want more letters and numbers um, but you want as many combinations as you can. But like we didn't even like there's a lot of combinations you can do with this. I can do capital C, and then my I can all right. Let's just do this. VI file, right? And I don't want to write out my passwords in a file, but I can because they're encrypted in the way I write them. So obviously, I don't want to write my actual password, but I can write coffee yum as a mnemonic for remembering what my password is. Um, and then I can say like for YouTube, my password is, and I'm not going to write coffee yum that way. Like I'm not going to write, all right, here's my actual password, not really, but my actual, coffee, um, coffee yum 321, holding shift 321. That's a simple password. Coffee yum 321 321. Right? That's how you remember that. But you don't. Let's say that's the password. What I'm actually going to write in this file is not that. What I'm actually going to write in the password file is my YouTube password with a mnemonic for it. So I'm going to say, coffee sure is good, yum. Because now if someone reads this file, they're going to say, what in the hell? But then I'm going to say, well, I can't, like, that's not good enough because I have all these characters and stuff, right? So I'm going to end it. I'm going to end it with 321, and then I'm going to do that, like, bro. And what does the bro mean? The bro means nothing. The shift explanation, right? And the shift one means I held shift and I added 321 to my password. Shift 321, right? And I know that this is really like over the top, and I'm explaining something that could be explained simpler. That's my point though, is and this isn't even fully written out. Like so anyway, coffee sure is good, yum. Coffee good. The whatever the new thing is, right? Coffee yum or coffee good yum, right? Uh, and then the NPC stuff, right? Coffee good yum. Um, I know that's not what they say, but like, why not say that instead? But then coffee yum. But then like, oh well, I have zeros in there. Well, I can say like that's not a good example maybe for right now. So let's actually delete that for a second and do very simple just so it gets the point across. Because but again, so it's the simple version of the password is going to be um, all lowercase, but with numbers instead of letters, right? But then yum will be all capital, and then I'll have um, one explanation point. That's a simple one. So I'm not gonna. That's my password, but that's not what's gonna be saved in this file, which could be put on GitHub, is YouTube, and I'm gonna say, coffee sure is good. I'm gonna say good, yum, right? Like something like that, right? And then I'll finish that by saying, um, I can still put the number one, but maybe let's instead of using the number one, let's use your favorite number. Your favorite number for now on is number 3 because Allen Iverson from the I know that's kind of an old reference. So let's say like um, I don't even know 77, right? You like Luca, right? So I'll just say Luca. No, actually I'll say yum, and that's relevant. And then I'll say Luca. I'll say Luca explanation point. Now, one more thing I want to say is now since we're going with basketball references, I could give a 33. Who was 33? Let me Google real quick on my phone. I'm just looking to see if Larry Bird was number 33. I thought he was number 33. or Scottie Pippen, right? We could do that. But Larry Bird jersey. So like this is so ridiculous and absurd. Yeah, 33. Okay, cool. So let's instead of writing 33 here, I'll just do like, you know, Celtics bird. Well, obviously Celtics bird like that means nothing. So coffee Celtics bird sure is good. Yum. Luca. That sounds kind of like weird. Like why would you write that sentence? But like I don't even need coffee yum anymore. I'll keep coffee yum up there because I want all my passwords. And I don't even need to call this password anymore because the file name is password. The file name is password. I enter it coffee yum. That's my base password, coffee yum. I never use coffee yum that way. That's my way of remembering my password. And then, or I'm sorry, my baseline. So now everything else is going to be coffee yum passwords, right? So my GitHub password will be, you know, the actual. I'm not going to write another mnemonic. I'm just going to write the actual password, right? Um, coffee. And now this doesn't have anything to do with Larry Bird. Why am I? I'm not going to write Larry Bird when I write this password. You know, and these can be lowercase, uppercase. It doesn't matter. But the point is to have extra random characters and make it hard to guess. And you just want a certain number of characters, right? So how many characters is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And you can do one more 16, right? So like it's 16. Now, what makes a password hard is not how hard it is to guess as a human. If they're cracking your password, they're using a program, and it's how many bits and bytes does it take, or I'm sorry, how many characters and numbers and sequences are there for this bit, and that bit, and that bit, and that bit, and that bit. And the problem for cracking your password is the length of the password. So this password of 1234 is just as easy as that password. They're the exact same difficulty. Maybe a little bit harder. The program has to go a little bit further per each bit or byte, but this password is just as hard as this password. They're just as hard. And that could be my uncle's name, John, or let's say like George, right? Whatever fits that. How many characters is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. John. I'm just trying to think of a name. Jimmy. Like my uncle's name, Jimmy, is just as hard of a password as those other three, the other two above it. And if I start it with explanation, uncle's Jimmy, like whatever, like that's all the same difficulty. So rather than making some ridiculous thing and having like 35 different passwords or worse, using the same password for everything, use the same password for everything and just give it a little bit of a mnemonic and then just reference the file when you need to remember the password. And when you need to change the password, just change your mnemonic on the fly. I do this all the time. I have my safe. I have my pin, and my pin's like, I'm referencing in my safe. I'm referencing a jersey number of a professional athlete by 2 letters, and let's just say this is not it, MJ. And I don't say that I don't say, safe pin, MJ, because obviously that's 23. You're gonna know that, but you're not gonna know the person, right? That I have here. And if I was to put like Kobe Bryant, well, he, 24, right? Or but like so, but if I write a different, if it's not so obvious that it's even a player, like let's try to find the let's try to find a 2-digit jersey number in my head, a two-digit jersey number that maps to an athlete's initials. That doesn't necessarily mean I'm talking about an athlete. So like a 2-letter word, like um, let's do like Terrell Owens, EO. That means nothing in a safe pin. If I don't even write safe pin, if I just say like black box and I have like 6 TO, maybe the year of my, car, 89 or 9, whatever, I don't have an 89 of anything. But let's say a 73, that was my favorite model. That's a 5-digit pin, right? 68873. Terrell Owens. You didn't know that. You have no idea what Terrell Owens means in comparison to black box. And I don't have to write 73. I can write Chevy. Six Terrell 6-2 Chevy is what that says. 6-2 Chevy. You know, like you can do things like that, and then you don't have to write your code down. You're ciphering your passwords and your codes, and then you can store that in public, because who the hell, like, sure, someone might know you have a Chevy, but like they don't know what TO means, and then correlating that, and what the hell's a black box. Now black box is pretty obvious, but if I call this like something that's not so obvious, and I could even say like 5 digits. You don't you don't even know how many digits my safe takes. So, like, sure, you can see this and say, so that might not be so hidden, but still, like, what I'm saying is just give yourself some mnemonics so you remember your stuff, right? Um, Another good one is to, like, and I'm not gonna show any more about that, but my point is, specifically with passwords, just have a password word, and you don't have to change the word as long as you don't tell people what your word is. You don't even have to save that, because you know it now. You know it's coffee yum. So this can be your file. Obviously not that. This would be whatever mnemonic you have for GitHub, you know. And it doesn't have to be the same sentence either. And it doesn't even have to be the same word here. Not tea. Caffeine is yummy. Oh, coffee yum. That's right. That's my phrase. Coffee yum. And it's okay. Like, this one's not in isolation. I have one above it. It's like all these ones have a different, and then that's your password. That's your phrase, and then you add a sequence of characters to that like make it more complex. And you just want a good number of letters and numbers and symbols to make it, 17, 20, 30 characters. And you just type in that sentence every time you go to your phone, or you go to your keyboard. Now, sure, you have password managers and stuff like that, but you remember that guy that had a password manager I showed yesterday in a stream that we didn't really look at, but like, yeah, that works, and that's good for programmatic stuff. But like, if you're trying to remember passwords, like, this is a good way to remember passwords, because it's just one password ultimately. And sure, if it gets really bad and someone learns your secret phrase, and that very first letter, or that very first sequence, and someone walks up to you and takes their sunglasses off and says coffee yum, yeah, maybe you should probably change your passwords. But like, no one's going to guess these passwords, and then you rotate those when you feel you need to, and then you're not using the same password, because you can change this sequence infinitely many times, or at least enough times that, like, you get a good rotation out of it over 3 years, and then you switch all your passwords to a new key phrase, and the next one could be Rocky Mountains, and Rocky Mountains. This could be the next base phrase, and then the password for YouTube could change to, like, whatever, whatever you want, you know. And I'm sure I'm not the only one that's thought of that. And then of course I delete him. Let's make sure the stream. Come on. Oh, right, because okay, it was empty. Let's make sure the stream is still going. I'm sure that all got lost too. That's my luck. Oh no, it's still going. Um, so we were looking at journal CTL and killing Kubernetes. Let's see if it's still running. It was, because those were the old ones. So let's p-kill those. And of course I need to run it as sudo. So p-kill Kates. And God, I keep typing. I'm just not used to this keyboard. My issue is not that I don't know my password. It's that and that failed for some reason. So let's see. If there's any reason? Yeah, it didn't actually kill them. Oh, K8s. It's K3S. Now what's the reason? Oh, is it? Do I need to kill Rancher? There we go. Maybe. Come on, like I don't even want anything to do with this right now. I want to look at why my computer is not booting, and maybe this is the reason. Let's see if I can do rant. Like K3S is the service, is the system CTL system D service. So can I do tab complete on this? No, it's files. Right. So that's nothing, and let's just make sure it's nothing by also doing what was it? Disable, and it's probably not any. It's not gonna work either. Oh, come on. So what is causing those to run? I don't want to p-kill I guess I can just p-kill the numbers, but that's why I like PS aux. Like I like running PS aux, but this doesn't have aux. Um, so let's do kill dash 9 2874 2878. But if I had PS aux, I could aux and get that row and feed those in. And I know I can with new shells, just I'm not familiar enough with it yet to be able to do that. But eventually I'll get to that skill level. 3252, 3323, 3515. Alright. I'll just do sudo pipe or bang bang, enter. There we go. Reset. PS aux or PS rancher, nothing good. So now let's do journal CTL again to see if it's gonna. Also, let's. I don't want to do yesterday. Let's do today. Because I don't want to load, you know, a bunch of logs. I just want to load enough to be able to. Yeah, yeah. So what's all this? Yeah, yeah. So Qbro or Qt. That's from midnight last night. Okay. I could probably see what caused my crash last night too. But yeah, let's go down to new and see 950. Oh, I need to update my timestamp here. Let's actually get to now. So let's go 44. Go down to the bottom. It'll take a minute. Here we go. It's still doing. It's still doing container stuff. So I think I'm just gonna uninstall K3S for now. How do you uninstall? Sudo pacman -u. Let's just try u. Um, R, capital R. K3S isn't a target. Okay. TLDR pacman. Surely someone has in here how to remove. Oh yeah, RS. Okay. It was R, and it's not letting me do K3S. I'm pretty sure I installed it through pacman. Ha. Let's get rid of Docker. I don't need it on this computer. Like I said, we're gonna do the Raspberry Pi stuff. That's where I'll do all my containerization stuff. Then all my containers, at least for myself, will be ARM based. But like I said, we can probably experiment and bring them over here to this computer as well when we want to do some AMD x86 testing. So now let's do journal CTL and see. Oh, I gotta change the timestamp again. Let's do let's do midnight. So 23:59, which, if you see down there on the bottom right, on the left of the OBS logo, is 14:45. That's 2:45 local. So now if I go down to the bottom, all right, let's wait and see if we get some container stuff again. Docker socket is running, yeah, but I uninstalled it, so that should have killed it. Good. And then K3S is still there. I want to uninstall K3S. Maybe I can just undo the symlink ls. Well, actually, which K3S? Let's just like remove the symlink for now. Oh, it's not. It's literally just a file. I don't want to delete it like that though, because then it leaves a bunch of files hanging on the computer, which is ugly. But I don't mind doing it for now because, again, like this is creating more problems is just more content too. So I don't want to like intentionally be messy with this, but just removing the binary so it fails to start, that's probably not good either. So the actual thing I should do is actually uninstall K3S. I just don't know how to, because I don't know how it was installed. Let's do history pipe grep K3S. Yeah, and the history goes back to like me CDing into it. So let's do history again. And go up to that area. Oops, too far. So yeah, so it even picks me up in the middle of, I'd already had new installed, so it doesn't even have my full history either. Oh, this is not my full history. This is my history in new shell. Yeah, this is my history in new shell. So let's open another terminal. Well, no, I guess I can just do it here. Let's just do what? There we go. Maybe I have K3S in here. Maybe not actually, because I did a lot more stuff on this computer than 400 things in history. Let's reset, and then history pipe grep K3S. Yay, okay. See, I was doing some stuff with pods and whatnot. I was working on a CRM for a business that I'm doing, but I didn't make much progress. I made some progress. I was getting like the back end and infrastructure and stuff set up. Um, but let's see where I don't have my installation of K3S. I don't know how it was installed. Huh. Well, this is definitely something we'll pick up as well. Let me go over to let me exit out of bash and then reset and then VIRC. I'm sorry, not VIRC, VI topic. And under ventures, this is technically under ventures. It's not part. It could be part of the surveillance thing, but I was working on a CRM thing, and also a billing thing. There's open source billing tools, but they were clunky and like I don't like Java at all. And like the open source billing thing on the internet is Kill Bill. And it was like I loaded it up, I ran it in Tomcat, I did all kinds of stuff, and it was just like it did not work for me. And it was like I was not even doing anything stupid. I was just like going through the UI and clicking the buttons, and it wasn't working. And it should have been. I tried the local installation. I tried the containerized version. It just wasn't. And I wasn't gonna like boot it up on Ubuntu in the cloud because like there's no difference between running in Ubuntu and running locally in a Ubuntu container. Really. So it just wasn't working, and I want to have it run locally. Um, and then a CRM because like I want to if I end up having, for example, customers up here with the surveillance system, knowing the MAC addresses and the IPs of their stuff, I can store that and I allocate that or look what is it, like correlate that to the user. Now again, this would need to be a secure system, and I would build this and show the show the creation of the like the development of the project, but I wouldn't show like customer data in this stream. So I'll need to figure out how I'm going to do that. I'd probably run this. I'd probably launch this accessible through an app on my phone, and then I'd do my business stuff from the phone, and I would never really use the computer to like analyze that information. Um, so because I want to be careful and not disclose like proprietary, not proprietary. I mean like sensitive information. Like my customers aren't going to want the internet to know that they're my customer, and that's for them to decide, not for me to broadcast. Um, for obvious reasons. But anyway, like, correlate, even correlate all kinds of stuff. Correlate customer, but you'll see what I mean by all kinds of stuff when I start typing it out. Like, I'm not, their address isn't my concern. It's stuff like this. You know, camera uh, version, like the software version, that kind of stuff. So I know like per camera, right? Like maybe a camera doesn't get upgraded, and also like if I need to go out and like swap a camera out with a customer, I can give them a loaner, I'll have like their camera serial numbers, the actual, and by camera serial number I mean like the ESP32 serial number like on the chip, right? I don't need to like, or maybe I'll make my own serial number. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet, but camera. I'll just put serial number, and then under that, loaner loaner serial uh, mapped to broken serial, right? What I mean by that is, let's say I need to take a loaner camera out while I'm repairing someone's camera. I can take a loaner out and update my CRM so that I log somewhere that this is the serial number of the this is the serial number that the customer now has, and this is the serial number of the camera I have in possession. That is not my camera. I sold it, but I'm repairing it. So there's that. Um, so there's valuable things about CRM that aren't like I'm tracking like who they are. No, but like how many cameras they have, and like a camera count and location, not like so that you can hack them and learn where their cameras are, but like on the hill, right? Like I'll remember if I'm the one that did the install where the cameras are, because not everyone's going to want to go out there in the woods and put cameras on their property, for example, right? Or whatever, right? So some people will and don't want people, but like this is not a business that everyone's going to be a customer of. This is a business that like someone might be a customer of. And just helping people out with something that I can do, that I don't mind doing. Maybe it's an elderly couple and they don't want to go out there and put cameras up. Maybe it's someone that has, a lot of land and they don't want to go out there and do the cameras because like they have better things to do and their time's worth $1,000 an hour. Because there are people in the world that are that have different economic positions, right? So yeah, so we'll just see, but like so there's value in having a CRM that isn't like me being a predator of information. It's so I can actually operate, right? Um, and that data, like I said, would be encrypted, and we'll work through like encrypting it because like no real customer data is going to be in here until I get it working. So like I can tweak it and break it and like use fake information to get it to the point that it's working for my needs, and then I can open source it. Like, I can probably open source it the whole way along, right? Like that's the thing is like, my style is to tinker on something until it's working. Some people will open source it when it looks good, and good for them. For me, I'm open sourcing something that's broken and I'm working through it. And if I can get contributions, great. Linux was that way. Like Linus got what he needed and it was good, but obviously it wasn't perfect because we're still developing on it. Almost 30, more than 30 years later. I think it's 33 years. I think, right? 91 was when he posted. So like, you know. Anyway, Kill Bill alternative. And I have this under ventures because like I don't need a billing thing. I'm doing it because I actually need it to bill my customers. I don't want to do a billing thing as part of this, but everything I do on this computer I want to stream. So I already made that decision. I can't go back on that. If I don't want to do it on this, if I don't want to do it on stream, I won't do it on this computer. But I'm not going to go buy another computer to do it off stream. I'll just do it on my phone or something. You know, like I'll do like my banking and stuff on my phone. Um, anyway. Looking at crypto prices, 1 second. And let's make sure the stream's still live. Okay, and let me close out and open. Cool. And I just tested the audio. All right. Um, like there might be, as if you're watching this particular part of the stream, you might be in your head thinking, oh, is this guy gonna burn out? The goal is to never burn out. The goal is to transition to where this is what I do, which is what this is what I do anyway. I just don't talk when I'm doing it. You know, I don't. In the past, I never had a medium for sharing what I do, um, for various reasons. But you know, this will, yeah. I mean, I plan on doing this, and you know, we'll see. Maybe in a long time from now, like we upgrade the computer hardware, right? And then or like buy components and build a new computer. Um, Again, I only want to do screen share. That's just my style. That's what I want to do. I don't want to. What I look like doesn't matter. It doesn't. Like, you know, what matters is the content that I'm creating, and this is the content I'm creating. Um, you know, maybe at some point, you know, I don't think that will change. I want this to be the focus is not me. The focus is that what you're looking at right now. That's the focus. You know, the effort and the evolution of this system, this particular computer, right? And the things I'm working on. At some point, I'm sure my identity will be shared, and I'll be perfectly fine when it is. Coffee, coffee, coffee. So I have had other ideas for content as well on YouTube that is like totally different than this. Um, and if I was to do some other content, it definitely would not be on this channel. Um, Purely because I want this channel to be, it's called Bits for Bytes. I don't want it to be, you know, driving a car down the road, you know, or whatever, right? Like, it's, this channel is this content. And this community is this content. Like, if I start another channel, like, I don't, good if you're a part of that too. But, this channel is this content. And, yeah. I haven't had a shutdown. It's 51 minutes. I wonder if Qt Browser was part of that. Let's go back to Journal CTL and see if we can track it down. So let's go back down to the bottom. What's udev mom? Udev parse cannot parse. My keyboard is plugged in, but I don't use that keyboard. I have that keyboard plugged in because this is a Bluetooth keyboard that I'm on. And when my computer boots, if I don't have a keyboard plugged in, like a USB keyboard plugged in or PS2, what will happen is like when it boots up, it's not a problem. It's just I don't like noise, right? So what I mean by noise is like overload of information. So as much as possible, I try to reduce it, right? So when I boot up, I want it to be the same boot every time. And if I don't have a keyboard plugged in, then there's a step in the boot where it shows like this old school from the 90s thing on, you know, my motherboard where it says that I don't have a keyboard plugged in. but it detected one, which is my Bluetooth. But it's just a really ugly screen, and I don't want to see it every time my computer crashes and boots up again. So I have my that keyboard plugged in, and you can see it's a gaming keyboard. It's a 50. The mouse is a 502, which I'm also not using. I have a Bluetooth mouse as well, which is a Logitech. It's also a Logitech, but it's not the same one. This is one of the MX ones that you use on a Mac, and it's Bluetooth. But the 502 mouse and whatever the keyboard is from that generation as well. The Orion Spark, I think, is what it was called. I can't scroll over, so I don't know how to scroll over. Oh, it's that. Okay, yeah, the 910 keyboard. Oh no, I'm sorry. Yeah, the 910, the mouse. That's funny. They called it a 502. They called it Logitech Gaming Mouse 502 keyboard. That's funny. Logitech Gaming Keyboard. Yeah, so the 910, and it's not new. I've had that. I've actually had two of them. That's how much I like them. I had one and it broke. That's how much I like it. I it broke, and then I bought a new one. So um, uh, I think they came out in like probably 2014 or 2015. No, no, maybe even like 2013. They have like I think they're like cherry, or they're definitely like whatever that clicky company is that makes the keys. Um, anyway, it's a good keyboard, and then the mouse is really good. It's a really good like FPS precision mouse from that era. Now they have really light mice, right? But I'm not using either of these. I'm not sure why they're showing up in here. Oh, it's just watching. Okay. Um, so what's going on? What's that one down there at the bottom? Not supported by any plugin. What isn't? PC. I couldn't check supported devices on modem manager. Oh, that's probably a Bluetooth thing, right? Because it doesn't make any sense. But like, in my head, I'm thinking, okay, when I think of modem, I'm thinking of network. Well, I don't have any other network devices other than like a Bluetooth network, and I have two USB dongles. I have a dongle for my Logitech headset, which is the G933, and then I have a USB dongle for my mouse and keyboard, which is an Edimax, like $4, $5 USB Bluetooth dongle. And what was all this up here? This was a core dump. Yeah, that's. Oh, I'm sorry. That's up higher. I need to use my keyboard to scroll. So I'm just looking to see if I can find anything for why it booted, or shut down, I should say. So let's go 55 minutes up is when I booted. 55 minutes ago from now. What time is it right now? Okay, so this file, or these logs are from 44. I need to go 55 minutes from now, which is 303. So that would have been like 1410 or so is when it booted. And I don't care about the boot. I care about the shutdown before the boot. And how I'm going up is I'm just doing I'm typing in 30, the number 30 out there at the bottom, and then K. So I'm going up 30 at a time. I could go more. I just don't want to overshoot. And then if I overshoot, it's okay. But I don't want to go up by 4 hours. So I'm just going slow. And maybe I'll go up a little more. Maybe I'll go 300 up. Yeah, I'm glad I did that. Okay. Oh, here, that's some good stuff. Let's go up higher. Okay, so yeah, here's the shutdown. Chroot. I ran as sudo for something. That's probably what that was. Let's go down. Start Dunst notification daemon. Supervising 2 threads of 1. Okay, so this must be the boot. There's my Bluetooth. K3S booted. Yeah, I don't want that anymore on this machine. I mean, the whole reason I have the resources I have on this machine is so I can do really cool stuff with a lot of resources, but I don't need it on here. Well, the Raspberry Pi cluster is plenty, plenty amount of compute for the miniature projects I'll be doing locally. I thought that said potato mode. It said proto mode. The last red arrow there. I thought it said potato mode. Okay, so K3S. All right, so this is all after the boot, I'm pretty sure. So, oh, finished exiting session. Shutdown read. Reach shutdown. I'm just going down, and yeah, I'm seeing shutdown. So, what was that red stuff up here again? That was Bluetooth. Did my Bluetooth crash and that caused my computer to shut down? That's not likely. Let's go further down. It's possible, but it's not likely. Let's go down to like boot. Bootstrap. Okay, that's an indication that it was starting up. Maybe, I don't know. Reconciling bootstrap. Why is it? I really, yeah. I'm glad I turned off Kubernetes. So system D. This is probably my boot. 58 minutes ago from now. It's 3:06. If I remove 6 minutes, that would be 52 minutes. That would be 14:10. 14:12 was when it booted up, or thereabouts. And I keep saying like 58 minutes and whatnot, the uptime. Remember, I have Conky running on another screen, and Conky has the uptime in it. So that's how I'm referencing my uptime. So yeah, this right here, core dump, deactivate, successful. This seems to be when it shut down. And I'm getting all those errors there with Kubernetes, which I was getting anyway, so that's just noise. Maybe I can strip out Kubernetes related stuff, but for now I'll keep it in there because that might have been the cause. So let's go to the top of this and see what this was all about. That's a pretty long error. I'm still scrolling. And I'm just holding K. I'm not going number by number on this. I'm just doing K. What was that? This was Qt. So this must have been Qt browser. Yeah. Huh. Well, that might not have been the actual error, though. It's possible, it's plausible, it's likely, but... Yeah, I think it was. But, like, my thing... Yeah, segfault. Yeah, okay. Segfault on Qt browser. So something wonky's going on with Qt browser. And I'm not even going to blame Qt browser. Because it's ran flawlessly before. So... Like, I've used Qt browser for a very long time, and I've had like 4 crashes. And now I'm having crashes all the time. So I'm more inclined to think that, yeah, sure, it might have been a new version that is affecting it, but it also could be my local environment. It could be that I'm running OBS, and like OBS is calling hooks, and Qt is calling hooks, and like, you know, it could be anything, right? It could be my heads that my USB dongle is interfering somehow. But I've been up for an hour now on the dot, which is weird. My uptime says an hour, but the crash was more than an hour ago. The crash was an hour and 4 minutes ago. Right? One second. One second. No, it was 57 minutes ago. Yeah, it was 57 minutes ago when we crashed. How is my uptime 1 hour? Because the crash happened 57 minutes ago. My boot would have happened 2 or 3 or 4 minutes after that. Well, no, it was pretty quick. It was like it wasn't even a shutdown. It was a core dump, and then the computer just instantly restarted through BIOS. So it was like milliseconds of downtime of like the computer not functioning at all, and then it came back up, and then I logged in. So it must have been Qt browser. But what caused it? What might not have been Qt browser that caused the issue? Okay, normally a core dump will like write to a file. This is the core dump. I guess I can scroll through it, but and try to narrow it down. I don't want to like not using Qt browser is practically out of the question. I'm going to use Qt browser unless you can share with me a better version of a Vim-based browser. And I'm not talking about a browser that has a Vim plugin. I want a Vim-based interface natively, because I don't want to use my key. I don't use my mouse at all, or as minimal as possible. Every time I open my browser, I don't want to have to reach for my mouse. Is what I'm saying. Yeah. I'm not going to get to the bottom of it right now. But now we know Q browser. So I probably won't run the browser too much, which kind of limits me. So I do need to troubleshoot this, but I don't have to troubleshoot it right this minute. You know, priorities. So I'll VI topics and say, it's not a project, it's a config. Q browser is higher priority now because I do need a browser. Um, I don't know if it's higher than any of these other ones, but it's up here. So Qt browser. Now the homepage thing is not a priority. So again, I'm not going to do everything. I'm not going to do Qt browser and everything in it. I'm going to do the priorities. Everything's prioritized, and you know it's just nested and nested and nested. Um, so this is, you know, investigate and solve crashes. And that will be like searching the internet. So it'll be crashing while I'm searching, which should be fun. And this hopefully, so maybe that while this is important, maybe the bigger priority is getting the Kates cluster operational. Because if I get the Kates cluster operational, then I can access or I can stream separately, right, from a different machine. And if I can stream from a different machine, then that means if this thing crashes all the time, at least it's not dropping my stream, you know. And I can use the browser still and interact. Um, and then if it crashes, then it crashes, but at least it didn't kill the stream. And I can launch back up and everything, and it will be fine. Um, but I want to point out as well that there's other Raspberry Pi projects I want to do. Um, I lived in LA for a while. I said 5 years at one point. I think I was there for 6 years. But um, one of the things that I had going on there, just in personal, was that I never paid for television, but also it wasn't illegal for me to consume, you know, streams. It's illegal to broadcast illegal content. It's not illegal to consume illegally broadcasted. You know, you can't like imprison someone because they watched, you know, live sports through, you know, Plex or Kodi. So anyway, so I'm not incriminating myself. And plus, I think statutes of limitations are way out the window. This was, you know, almost a decade ago. But I had a Raspberry Pi. It's not under ventures, that's for sure. I definitely wasn't making money on that. Under projects, I want to get my Kodi system built back up. Um, Kodi. I think it was Kodi or Kodi. I don't remember. I'll just say I think it was spelled like that /Plex. I don't like Plex. I liked Kodi, which is why I keep saying Kodi. But maybe there's alternatives or newer alternative um, on Pi. So I have a Pi in my living room, and then that when I'm not watching. Well, now I just watch YouTube through the phone or through the TV, but I don't want to be logged in to my television operating system, right? My TV OS, which backdoors. You know, because if I log in with YouTube, well, they have my credentials, possibly, or at least the session, and what can they do with that? Like, get my Google, can they get access with, you know, like I'm not saying they can right now. I'm not, but I don't even want that curiosity in my mind. So I'd rather have a Raspberry Pi that I log into Google with. Um, so that will be on the stream. You know, I'm not gonna. This isn't a priority. It's down here. It is kind of a priority because like I do want to watch. It's let's put it here. Right, we need some fun. um, and this will be in my TV. So you'll never see the end result of it, but you'll see me compiling, or not compiling, but like configuring the SD card and getting it configured. If I ever need to pop it out, like pop the SD card out to do more tweaking, I'm bringing it here to do it. So you'll see me like, oh, like I need to change something on the SD card, or I need to flash it and install an upgrade. But generally, once that's rolled out, it's out, and you have it, and then you can do updates through the interface. But like I like to watch live sports sometimes, and I was when I lived in LA, I was watching live sports like all the time, and whatnot. But then I moved to another location, which is not relevant to the conversation. But I stopped watching TV entirely because I like got really engrossed in work. Um, so I wasn't watching YouTube, or I wasn't watching television at all. Um, and then eventually I got YouTube TV, and then they started, like every month they were raising the freaking price. So I was, it got up to like $80 a month, and I'm watching like one basketball game every 2 months during the season, and right now it's July and there's no basketball games on. Cancel. And I haven't looked back. I'm not gonna pay $80 a month to like have. First of all, here's something that really irritates me. And they can do it. They're doing it, and it's legal. I don't care, but like it's annoying. You pay $80 a month to YouTube, and you get commercials for YouTube TV. You pay $75 a month to DirecTV, and you get commercials. Okay, well, here's my thing. You're paying, as a consumer, $70 or $80 or $150 or $200 a month. I'm serious. Those are the prices. And they're getting money from you. But then they're also getting money from the advertisers. The advertisers aren't getting free commercial airtime. They're paying too. And it's just like you're collecting from both sides, bro. If I pay, I don't want commercials. I'll watch the television for free if Nike paid for the content, and I didn't have to. I won't pay for that, and they're paying to get it in front of my eyeballs. They're paying for my attention. But if I'm paying, I want to dictate what I'm paying my attention toward. That's fair. And you know who does that? Google. Not with YouTube TV, but they do it with YouTube. I can pay premium. I think they raised the prices again. I think now it's like $25 or something, or $20. It was like $10. So like but still, like I don't have to watch commercials. I went over to my parents' house the other day, and we were watching something, and like there was like 12 minutes of commercials before like the subject of the video was even discussed. And it's like, all right, you don't want to pay for YouTube. That's okay. And then I pay for YouTube, and I don't have to worry about commercials. But YouTube TV, $80 a month, and you have to watch commercials? How absurd is that? It's not enough that the live basketball game has, ads through the, this is brought to you by, whatever company. Or, like the banners in the stadium and stuff. Like, you see them all the time. The name of the stadium is a company. Like, I'm getting advertised too. That's okay. I'm not complaining. What I'm saying is, if I'm paying, I want to dictate commercials about diarrhea and heart pills. Like why can't I just watch a video or a movie or a television show without being like, every 20 minutes being reminded that diarrhea is a thing? I'm serious. Like, and I say diarrhea intentionally because like YouTube TV, for some reason, they really thought that was the commercial I needed to know about was, Pepto-Bismol. I know that's a rant and it's a ridiculous rant, but like, surely you as a human, regardless of where you are, if you're at Google and you're listening to this, you're like probably, yeah, you know what, he has a good point. Like, sure, there's money, but like, you know how much more money you would have if people like you would actually, I think you would actually have a better retainer rate, right? If like people felt empowered. They're your consumers, and the technology's here. YouTube proves it. Not everyone pays for YouTube Premium, and guess what? You're still making money through advertisement revenue because Nike's paying you. and all these other great, awesome companies are giving you money, and you're making money through the data and all this other stuff. Like, good, I'm not complaining about that. I'm just saying, if I'm paying you, give me something. And the reason I bring that up is actually because YouTube, I can get all the content I want on YouTube practically for $20 a month. YouTube TV is 5 times as much or 4 times as much, and I get less because I can't even watch the content because I have to watch commercials. And maybe that's in the works. And I understand why there's commercials, right? Especially with live sports, right? Because like it's built in. There's timeouts. I mean, I'd rather watch the coach talking to the team. I'd rather watch like the crowd members dancing. I mean, there's YouTube videos of people like the kiss cam and stuff. Like that's content. Like let me just watch the content. I don't want to watch the ad. If I'm paying you $80 a month. And same for DirecTV, Dish, and all these other ones. I don't know what you guys have in other countries, but come on. It can be a better world than it is. So anyway, Cody, because I do like to watch some things, and if it's illegal, let me know, please. But for now, I'm going to assume it's totally legal to consume what I want to consume on my device, as long as it's not like, you know, bad things, right? Watching grown adults playing a sport that's broadcasted nationwide, you know, that's not a bad thing to do. Sure, it's I shouldn't be streaming it, but the technology's there, and it's not on me to figure out your problems. If you want me to solve them, like if you want me to be a part of solving the problem, then pay me. So so I can stream live TV or sports really. Watch this. Confirm it's legal. I don't want to break no rules. Or laws. I'm just saying, like, come on. It's a fun project. I like Cody. I thought it was a cool thing. And what I really liked about it was the fact, beyond everything I've already said, what I really liked about it was that I had an app on my phone where I could interact with it because it's just a Raspberry Pi and I'm talking to it over the network. So now I don't have to hold like an old like push button remote control to like change channels, right? Or to type. Like right now, if you want to go to YouTube on your TV, you have to use a dial like a D-pad to like navigate a keyboard. I'd rather just like use my phone and type, right? Or use a Bluetooth keyboard. I have a Bluetooth keyboard right here. Take that into my living room and connect that, and then I can just pull the keyboard over to my lap and type, and toss it over to the couch, right? When I'm not typing, or onto the table or whatever. So that's gonna be fun to do, and that will be, my content right now is creating my some of the content I'll have on this channel is me creating my bear den, right, where I can go and relax and not be streaming. So I'll be creating that as much as I can. If I design a new coffee table, it'll be here. If I build like something, or if I want to, like anything that requires schematics and I need to type stuff out, there's a huge gap between what you can do on a computer and what you can do on an iPhone, even though they're the same thing, right? Like it's just the interface is different. Like it's nice to have a keyboard and mouse to be able to like do 3D modeling. And sure, I could do that. I could like go get an iPad and use a pen, but I grew up on a keyboard and mouse, so like it's easier for me. It's more my wavelength. I have a suspicion that it dropped my stream. Oh, it didn't. Yay. Okay. So, my intention for like the first couple days here is just to continue to pile on to this list and work through things that I need to. But I think, like right now, like even though I have projects as the priority, pretty obviously the configuration of Qt browser is the priority. But I'm not going to keep moving things up and down. I'll move the sub things up and down. I'll do one more pass real quick though, because I want to make sure that these are organized. So, like the top level stuff. So deep dives. So the order right now is let's do this. Let me come down real quick. Okay, let me do this. Cat home slash bit for bytes pipe grep what? Pipe grep semicolon pipe grep dash v dash. I don't think there's any dashes that I need. Yeah, and let me do the let me do it without the dash, which should include one other or a couple other. Yeah, I don't want those. All right, these are my topics, and we'll add. But I just want to see if this is the order I want. So we got projects, configs, deep dives, operations, experiments, learning. Yeah, I mean, I prioritize experiment always over learning, which is part of the reason I don't crack into my books as often as I'd like to. Even though that's like a pretty fundamental part of my All right, so like this is an important part of my stream. I want to have learning. I want to have like what I was talking about with the books. So I have it on here, so I will do it. And this will help me hold me accountable because it'll always be in my face. But I don't think it's going to prioritize like tinkering. And I should actually change this to tinkering. And then I kind of feel like tinkering should be the top priority. Because that is what I want to be doing is tinkering. But again, you know, the priority is fixing the engine, right, of a car. But I don't even have the tools. So while the priority is fix the engine, I need to go buy tools. So like the organization of priorities is sometimes more complex than like you can verbalize in 5 words, right? So that was operations experiments, right? So let's just take this. That was, I'm going to take 7 lines and then go up to the top, put that there, and then change this to tinkering. So I have tinkering, then I have my projects, and let me make sure the stream is still going. I'm constantly checking because I don't have any eyeballs other than my phone for like proof of liveliness or liveness. Okay, looks like it's still going. So what I could do as well is on the left screen I could have like a conky thing that has like my this conky for like and I should probably do this for stream improvements. Conky script for, so one, I'm gonna have and this will be as much as I can. I'm gonna open source all the stuff I do in case you want to start a streaming channel too. Conky script for what? For stream health, querying YouTube for proof of life, and then Discord. I don't want notifications. I don't want like on the left, on my left screen. I don't want like my conversations, because I want them to be on stream. But I want like some sort of like some sort of indication that there's activity in my Discord channel, specifically at here, at me, that kind of stuff. Like if you guys are talking, cool, good, like, you know, but if it's at me or whatever, and like this is just rudimentary. This will be improved, and it won't just be at me. It'll be if there's like certain keywords, right? Because maybe I'm interested in like someone talking about a large language model or something, right? So like, yeah. So like, anyway, keywords of things that I'm interested in, and then those will be here. So then I'll have like a number indicator, you know, on my status, screen that indicates to me that like there's activity that I need to go look at. I'm not gonna, again, like that screen is not meant for like keeping notes. You should know that by now if as you've watched this. Like this is totally off the cuff. Everything I say and do is just like spontaneous, unless it's been planned. But if it's been planned, I'm gonna take notes if I'm taking notes, it's going to be right here in the screen. I have nothing to hide in terms of like what I want to say in a discussion. So if we have a situation where let's say I'm just using this file for a second. Let's say that I have a stream at 9 p.m. to talk about Kubernetes, right? Because someone wants me to answer some questions. Well, guess what? I'm gonna be streaming at like 5, stream at 5 to do some research. I'm gonna ask the guy or the lady to send me some questions before, right? And then I'm gonna stream my activity, and then 9 o'clock is when we said we would summarize everything, right? That's when we're gonna talk. So in my 5 o'clock stream, I'll be taking notes. Yeah, I should say notes for 9 p.m. stream, and then people can join and watch that and be a part of that. And then when it comes to this, like I'll be reading the notes from that stream, and some of you will have been here during that part, so you'll have more information, able to contribute and whatnot as well. I just feel like, this is unique and it's not for everyone, and that's okay. And you don't have to join this session or that session, right? It's just what I want to do for when it comes to that kind of stuff. Like that's what I'm trying to do. That's what I'm trying to achieve. I just want everything I do on this computer to be live. So if I'm taking notes, the notes are in front of you, just like everything else is in front of you. So let's do this again. So tinkering and then projects, and they are distinct, right? Loosely coupled, maybe tightly coupled in some areas. Configs, you could also say, is tinkering to some degree. Deep dives is going to include tinkering, but it's deep dives. Operations probably should be above deep dives. You got to make sure, like the quality of the stream matters. So I'll try to hammer those out as they come up, but like and yeah, technically, let me go to the top real quick. Tinkering projects config. Yeah, I just don't know if this belongs in config. It is an operational thing. Like right now, it's not working. So maybe I'll keep QBrowser in here. I'll move QBrowser back down to like below NeoVim, and then under operations, I'll put it right here as well, and I'll clean this up real quick because it's not the same stuff. Yeah, I need to investigate that, so I can remove this one. Develop fine for plug. So that's part of this up here is part of config. So that's all fine up there. But down here, operations, I don't need that. So I need this in operations, and I want to move operations up. So this is 15 lines. We'll go up. Well, tinkering, we'll do that like that. So tinkering and then operations. Even though, again, like just because QBrowser operations is right here, doesn't mean that's what I'm going to be focusing on next, because I don't want to be focusing on 3D printing or whatever, right? And actually, tinkering, I think I want to put Kubernetes or Linux spec in here again real quick as well. But just because these are the priority and I'm not doing those doesn't mean I'm going to do this. It's all just up to like the flow, right? All right, deep dives had Kubernetes. Tinkering, I think tinkering's a better place for that. Kubernetes, or I'm sorry, deep dives is for more like preparing for a project, or preparing, like, advancing knowledge and stuff, right? Like Mistral's a deep dive, not a project. I don't even know what I want to do with it yet, right? And speaking of, in fact, Mistral, I should actually call it AI. And the reason I should call it AI is because, Whoops, that's weird. Whoa, that's weird. I just want to do this. Come on, let me do it. Thank you. It was trying to autocomplete on me. Oh, come on. Come on, world, it doesn't have to be this way. It doesn't have to be this way. Please, it doesn't have to be this way. No, it doesn't have to be this way. There we go. Whew. What would have been the icing on the cake is if it would have crashed while that was happening, because that seems to be the pattern. So I want to do some stuff with that, but I also want to do some stuff with, and I have a lot of ideas around this. They're called agents, and specifically there's a couple of them. I don't know what they're called, but the idea here is like have some autonomous, essentially factories, doing research for me on topics. Like, if that can subsidize some of the learning from the books, then I'll just do that. So like I'll do books, and again, like I probably will never read all the books I have. I have too many books, and there's just so many other ways of getting that information. In some ways, I bought the books because I wanted to support the authors. Like I know that's ironic, or not ironic, but it's just what it is, right? Like, I will try to read books and work through the books on this channel, but like there's other methods for getting information too. But again, like, and it's not just about this. It's about like, I want to. This is just a very small example about having a research factory, because there's also like, have it write toy games, right? Where it has like a CEO and a CTO and like a lead developer, and and each agent, and they come out and they print out, and they actually pump out like a Python script, right? Like you can do that. So I want to do that. I want to experiment with it. In fact, I kind of want to put that under tinkering. So I don't want to deep dive on that. I just want to play. I just want to pick it up and start going with it. So there's some things I want to deep dive on, and I'm not sure what I want to do with. I actually have ideas for agents. So I'm going to keep agents down here, but I'm also going to take it up here. In fact, that's actually higher than 3D printing. Even though I need to do some 3D printing for the cameras and stuff, like this is a hobby of mine. I want to expand on. So AI agents, and you're along for the ride. And if you've done some of this, then pitch in. I wonder actually. Did I download it? I thought I downloaded the agents. I guess I didn't. And I'm not even so sure if they'll actually work for me, because they should. The idea is not to have to necessarily train my large language model, and that's where I need the GPU resources for training, for accessing and indexing the data. Like I can do that just computationally through the CPU. Yeah. So anyway, well, there's not really anything in here that's worth looking at, by the way. I was just seeing if I downloaded something and put it in there or not. I'm not sure if I do have it where it would be. It's not in scripts. By the way, I need to move this. I don't like that. I want a code directory. And code is separate of projects. Projects is actual projects. Code is where I have like scripts and we'll see. I'm not sure exactly how I want to lay it out, but I definitely want to have like an isolated place where I'm working on things, and then where I like download like code isn't necessarily code I've written. It could be like yeah, we'll see. And maybe I'm thinking too far ahead and I don't do either of these. But I definitely want to have a projects directory where I'm like working through different projects, which is what I have. By the way, business is where I have some can I yeah, okay. I don't want to go too far into that stuff. It's not relevant yet. Well, some of it is, but it's not relevant. It's related to the camera stuff, mostly. Alright, let's check the stream real quick. So, if you guys like a more structured approach as viewers start streaming in and whatnot, what's that? Oh, that was weird. A random video started on my phone. If you guys like a better structure, like this is my core. Like what I'm doing, the way I'm doing it right now is the core. It is the product. But like I can do, more like we can like iron out like certain time or carve out certain times where we do a more structured like uninterrupted focus on things. But again, like this is still so early that the goal is to get to that point. But right now it's very unorganized intentionally. I'm kind of giving you a wall of like these are things. Like I think yesterday this was 55 lines and now it's 110 lines. So like the idea is to get this to like more and more and more, and hopefully people start joining as well and adding more to my to-do list, pretty much. And then from there we will prioritize those and whatnot. So and by when I say ventures here, these will probably be open source software that I don't make money on, but they're ventures in terms of like, you know, these are going to be products. They'll be open source products. Like Apache licensed tools. Um, Maybe we'll see how far it goes, right? Like I don't have a bunch of resources to do everything I want to do, but like over time, maybe I will. So let's look at this one more time to see what the organization is of this. So tinkering and operations, that makes sense. Um, Projects, config, deep dive, learning, ventures, tools and apps. What's not in here is, oops, and I want to put this up top because what's the point of, right, I shouldn't say what's the point, but like we're in a spot here where it's like, okay, I have all this official stuff I want to do. Well, I also want to like have off topic stuff that is just curveball stuff, and yeah, I have that in a way that it's prioritized above project stuff because I want to always remember that are not the thing I need to do, and I want that to be ahead of the things I need to do. Not that I'll ever always do them, but like, hey, I wanna play RimWorld, and on Linux to play RimWorld you have to install a script, and tinker on a Bash script to get it working, and I don't even run Bash, so I'll probably have to do it in another terminal, you know. So like I want to play RimWorld, and there will be some streaming of me like actually playing the game, and then that will offshoot into videos and stuff, maybe, I don't know, but like we're just gonna kind of be all over the place. We're gonna be doing some tinkering, we're gonna be doing some gaming, you know, off topic. There might be like and these might evolve into their own classifications, right? But like maybe there's after hours where on certain days of the week where we are punctual, but it's a conversation. It's more of a conversation, and more of a community driven uh, session where it's 100% about the community, not about me wanting to do stuff too. Like whatever the community wants to do, and if that's like playing online games together, or if it's something less than that, or if it's just like joking and having fun, like that can be open, and that, that's what I'm driving for. And maybe for you, maybe you're more of a private person and you don't want to be, so public about, whatever, showing your face. Or I'm not showing my face, so you don't have to do that. I'm just saying, like, maybe you don't want to be totally involved in this kind of stuff. That's okay. you know, some people might want to be involved in this. So like, and I just have it off. I just have it here as like as something that could happen. I don't know. Um, but you know, there's no reason not to like have a little bit of fun beyond the fun we're already having. You know, like the more fun it is, the better. Um, and Room Rule is just one example. I've never actually played it. I've watched playthroughs. I've probably watched. I've watched more than 100 playthroughs of RimWorld. I'll say that. Probably closer to like 200 playthroughs of RimWorld. Um, and there's some awesome content creators in that space. But this isn't the only one, right? Like, there's all kinds of things. So I'd rather just say like gaming, not capital gaming, just lowercase gaming. Um, you know, and then after hours, I'll just say community. And I don't need that. And then this. So off topic is going to be, it's going to take priority, but it's not going to be like, I'm not always going to be like, oh, I don't want to tinker and I don't want to operate. I just want to go straight to gaming, right? I'm trying to, like, these are things I want to do. So, but I want to remember that there's off topic things I can do as well. And the best way to do that is to have it closer to the top. It's kind of like sitting down for dinner and knowing there's ice cream in the fridge or in the freezer, you know? Um, you just want to get through dinner so you can have some ice cream. So I want to have that there so it's always in the front of my mind. Um, and then projects. That's where I'm gonna tinkering and operations and project. I don't know how much I'm gonna learn from operations, but definitely tinkering is where I learn the best, and projects where I'm building products and things like that, which is I think different than tools and apps, because this might be more like offshoot stuff that I think about, like, oh, I need a better, you know, like I need to write some aliases. You know, that's not necessarily operations. That's going to be just tools like that. And maybe I need to like look up a better app compared to an app I'm already using, or a program I'm already using. That's where this comes into. That's not a deep dive. I don't need to like do a super deep dive. Maybe I want to upgrade from using, you know, one piece of software to another, right? Or I want to write a small tool that like queries for whatever, like a one-time tool, right? So maybe this could be called automation more than apps and tools, but apps and tools is fine. Um, and then we have config. That's pretty important. And generally, I kind of want to have config below deep dives, honestly, because sometimes doing deep dives on things gives you better clarity on other configs that, like other things you want to work on. So here I am changing configurations, and sometimes like having the precedence of like acquiring more knowledge above making configuration changes allows you to make more precise and refined config changes when you do make them. So I might actually bring deep dives above config. Maybe. How many are there? All right, so there's 9. Does that include the? No, I think that is 9. Okay. So yeah, deep dives above configs, configs above learning, ventures below learning. You know, because yeah, I mean, again, I'm not going to be iterating through each one of these individually, and there's days where I'll just jump straight to deep dives. So it doesn't really matter, but it does kind of matter. I want some structure, just not a lot of structure. So, and I know this looks like a lot of structure, but it could be worse, right? So let's go ahead and move config below deep dives. And how many lines was that? All right, that was... Well, I was saying I wanted config kind of higher up because it impacts the stream quality. But I am going to move it down, and I'll give you a reason why in a second. So 16 lines, come down here, and put it here. Because I can always have in my operations community-focused configs. So if you bring configs, or not configs, but if you bring like a request or a suggestion to focus on one of these, then I can move i3 bar into this, and now it's at the top. You know, compared to the config that I'm pushing off. All right, so there's configs that are just what I want to work on, and then there's configs that maybe you want me to work on. So I'll I'll prioritize the ones you want me to work on, because those are, that's at least content that is geared toward you, right? So that's a good thing. Whereas these are more, I can work on these spontaneously. And again, just because you asked me to work on a config doesn't mean that that's going to be the one I work on that day. But like, I'll definitely take that in consideration. Like, someone wants me to work on it, I'll work on it. And if you can't catch the stream, that's okay. At some point, I'll probably need timestamps. I'll need like community members to like contribute timestamps, so that we can add them to the description of the stream. So then, Tommy or Barbara, I know those are kind of weird names that maybe aren't so common, but like Monica wants to watch the new shell config thing, and she missed the stream. Well, there's timestamps in the stream, so like it can help her, like she can get there, right? Um, but this is just like a way to like fire hose out content, and then let the cards fall where they will. And for me, it's the best way to bootstrap, is just to get it all out there, and then I can organize it better as time goes on. So how many lines? We're at 117 lines. We started at 50 today, 54, I think. So that's pretty good. All right. Let me see if the stream's still going. I think I didn't fix the problem, but I think closing Qt browser helped. Yeah, I think Qt browser was what was crashing, and I'm not sure why. So we'll have to look into that. I think what I should do, as well as I don't use Reddit or really any of those, like that classification of like open, not open, I should say. I don't use many like communication platforms that have a really wide reach. Um, but I want to find a way to maybe get the like spread that this is something that's going on, just so that people don't fall too far behind in the stream content. Because if I have like 2 years of, or no, I shouldn't say 2 years, but like a month of streams, who's gonna watch these? Um, when they could watch the live ones, and then they don't know everything that I've talked about, which is okay. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. So I need to figure out a way to like, you know, spread this to the extent that like some people have consumed this media, and then they can kind of help carry the torch in the early stages of the community in terms of like passing along like the important things that maybe the community would benefit from knowing from these early um, you know uh, streams. And maybe what that is as well is refining what I put out in terms of like the like I can put stuff out into the Discord channel, that kind of stuff. And then when people do join and they click on the Discord channel, then they see that there's content in the Discord channel that has like some of the topics that were discussed in the most recent stream, then they can decide if they want to even watch that, right? Like, I don't know. It's not so much about like having a stream and having a bunch of people watching at a given time, but I do want to grow the community so that there is, hundreds or thousands or more people that are all kind of involved in this. Um, yeah. That's kind of the crux, right? Is you can be super verbose, but then no one's consuming it. Um, but that is the brand that I'm trying to go with. I'm okay with not everyone seeing everything I put out, but um, I don't want to be superficial and put out like a refined as my main media. I don't want it to be a refined uh, 20-minute video. I want it to be you're either here and watching it or you're not, and that's it. You get what you get out of this, whatever you can, whatever you end up getting. So, uh, yeah, I kind of want to hold pretty firm on this being my primary content is like being super verbose, and then uh, like I said, we can do like short form and long form videos of clips, compiled clips of the stuff that is worth someone focusing directly on, right? Like watching a video on the entire book of whatever or whatever, like whatever that looks like in the future. But um, I want to grow this community and my kind of I want to grow uh, my circle of people, being involved. I want to grow that this way. Um, yeah. So, and to do that, like obviously, it's going to be to do really cool things and to like put out like like get shorts of like me experiencing something crazy, for the first time through like a Linux kernel, right? Or whatever. Like it's like and that might be what gets some people to come to the community, is that they saw a short of something, that isn't even on the list yet, right? I can't predict that, but like, um, yeah, I mean, I just hope that more and more people can join this movement, and that's really what it is. In some ways, is a movement of like being more social, of a hobby that is otherwise not quite so social. Like everything on this, there's this is social media, right? That's kind of the term that was coined, you know, from boomers. But like at the end of the day, um, it's not as social as it seems, right? You have a video of a person having a social experience, and then they publish it, and then they get paid for it through ad revenue, and then they're famous, and you're just in some ways, not to insult. I'm the same way, a pleb. I'm a pleb, right? Like you're a pleb, and then it's like, okay, so this isn't social. If anything, this is like conditioning. And I'm not going to get too deep into that. I'm just saying, in some ways, it's conditioning. And let's actually use social media for a social, like to make a social community. That's okay. But I really want people from all over the world. Some of the best experiences I've had in life has been with people from, a totally diverse part of the world from myself. And I've been to quite a few countries, but I haven't been, to like like there's people that I've been to all of them, right? There's people that I've been to 50, I haven't been to that many, but I've been to enough to like have seen the world. And I've been beyond me having been to places like that. I've also been fortunate through, my walk that I've had, friends even in my hometown that were from, from I think I have friends from probably 40 to 50 countries that were here in my town for a year of schooling, right? Through my education, right? As a child, and adolescence. So I've been very fortunate to have a international community of friends, pretty much from like the early era of my childhood, which is not common in America by any means. Like in America, like sure you have friends. I mean, people come to your high school, right? But my situation was quite drastically different than you can probably envision, and it allowed me to like have a very open perspective when it comes to like the tribulations that people go through in other countries, and how great, not like how great America is, but like how great the country of America is, that people can actually come, and go to school here, and witness this country, and then go back to their country and live a happier and better life, because of the experience they had in America. Not everyone's that way, but I'm just saying, like, having insight from other countries has allowed me to really take a step back, and from friends from other countries has allowed me to take a step back and realize that I'm a citizen of the world. I just happen to be that my passport says America, and I don't want to get too political and all that, but like I want this to be an international community. This isn't like but by all means, like if the first 30 people that are really part of this community are all from Iowa, cool. I'm not from Iowa. I've never been to Iowa. It's the, if everyone that joins this community is all from New Zealand, great. Let's have a good Australia, cool, whatever. Like, I want this to be international, because if you can see, like one of the things that was really awesome to me was when I was not in high school. I think I was in junior high, but like my school had an international high school system or whatever, and we had students this particular year from South Korea and Hong Kong and Singapore, as well as Germany and Russia and a bunch of other places. It was awesome. But I was in junior high. I was younger, but like our school was so small and the community was so small that like I'm just another person as they are, right? The age wasn't the thing that mattered. Sure, it did in study, but like outside of study, the social situation was such that 12-year-olds were talking to 17-year-olds, and it was common. And whatever. But anyway, socially, just pure conversational and pontificating on the universe, right? And I remember the kid from, I think he was maybe 2 years ahead of me. So he was young. He was young for an international student. I think he was like 15, and I was, I think, 14. And he had a phone, like a smartphone, but it wasn't a smartphone because this was like 2003. But I remember seeing the browser, and like the like in America, like our websites are pretty well like organized to like what fits the Westerns. Like this is Facebook and this is it. But like he was on some website, and like it was surrounded by ads all the way around it, kind of like it was in America back in the 90s, right, or early 2000s. But it was so different, and I couldn't read the text. And I just remember like, wow, it was so cool the way Asia had pursued communication channels, right? Like communication over the internet, and like broadcasting of information, and like websites where you could download games and stuff. Like they just had it completely different. It was the same, like they wanted to play games or they wanted to chat, but like it was unique to the way that the Western world had adopted those technologies. And I can't articulate it quite so well right now, but if you've ever been to like an Asian inspired website from like maybe the early 2000s through to like 2010, like you'll know what I'm talking about. It just was different. And there's American websites that were this way, and there's European websites that were this way, but this was like a pervasive website. Like everyone, his entire generation was using this website, right? In that country. Actually, I think, yeah, he was definitely Korean. But, you know, and I'm not talking about like how Yahoo at the time was that way. You know, Yahoo had a very like, you know, information overload website, but this was not information overload to the extent that Yahoo was, but it was farther in the here's a bunch of stuff on your page. So it was like here's a bunch of stuff on your page, but because I couldn't read it, it wasn't information overload. It was just pixels. But it like totally like shape shifted the way like I perceive like communication and data and stuff. And that was when I was like 14, and I was a nerd, right? It didn't really, it had a profound impact on like me at that time. That still carries to the point where I'm talking about it in like a stream to no one in the void. But you know, like that experience, I was just so fortunate to have the opportunity to have a circle of people that, and I haven't talked to that kid since he left. You know, that's just the way it was. But like, there's other friends that I had that I kept in contact with, you know, because we played sports together and we became friends, you know, or whatever. Or we'd play out on the like we'd play basketball or something out on the school, you know, outside hoops or whatever, after school or before school, right? Like, and that was through high school as well. So it wasn't like the whole time I was 12. Like my entire youth was this. When I wasn't on the computer and I wasn't at school and I wasn't working, my social circle was exchange students from all over the world, and then a couple of other kids from my community, which were all of the kids in the community. So it was a very small social experiment in some ways, right? And that was my entire youth. So it was really cool, and I'm hoping that I can bring something like that here, where like you might be, and it's okay that you're in your 40s. That's not what it's about, you know. The age doesn't matter. I'm just saying, like, I want to bring together a community of like a bunch of people from all over the world that just want a place to like make friends and communicate, like, and it be appropriate, of course, right? But like, this is just about like sharing ideas and thoughts and tinkering on things and breaking things, and like, oh, you like martial arts too? That's cool, you know. And like, you know, having conversations, just being friends, and just having a good community of people, you know, where you have kind of an outlet where it's not the same mundane routine stuff. It's an additional place where this exists, you know. And you look at Discord, and there's like the PlayStation Discord, you know, and it's like 500,000 people or something, right? But like, no one's in there having a good time chatting, as far as I've seen. You know, there might be a couple of channels where people are talking about one game, but like this, I want this group to be like, this community to be like, everyone's just kind of going off and talking, and like we're all kind of reconnecting back to the same thread. Yeah, granted, there could be channels for all that. I'm just saying, like, I want people to say good morning in the same good morning room, right? Like where everyone's saying, you know, hi and stuff, right? Or not, like, you don't have to. I'm just saying, like, I want there to be like this huge collection of like of people, right? They're not misfits, you know. They're not this or that. They're not anything other than a human that wants some social activity that is new and different. That's almost real time, you know, like real time with a group of people that you don't know, but like you can share a common interest in, and multiple common interests in, and you can be inspired because they're sharing something like CNC machining in the communication channel, right? Or like whatever, and you can kind of just you've never even considered CNC or wood turning, right? Like there's all these things that like can be discussed, and just like the thought or the mention of something can inspire you to go out and do something additional or new or fun, right? That's what this is beyond me tinkering. It's like I don't want to be doing this alone. I want other people to be tinkering and doing cool stuff and sharing that they just learned how to do a kickflip on a skateboard. You know, like that's what I want. I want like this to be like a really cool environment where you know people are supportive of each other for doing cool things and whatnot. Which sure you can get by publishing a YouTube video, but like you can also just post about it and you'll have a support system of people that are like, oh, that's cool, or oh, maybe you can do a 360 kickflip next time. You know, like that's what I'm looking for myself as well, because I want that inspiration. I want people to say, oh, you did this, like that would be cool when you can do that. You know, the next thing, you know, and keep me going. You know, and sure, like that's what I'm saying is like I could make YouTube videos and probably amass 5 million followers, maybe, who knows, right? But I'm just saying, like, I could. There's nothing stopping me from doing that other than you know, my own policies. But like that's not what I'm looking for. I don't want that necessarily. While that would be interesting and fun, I want this to be the medium that came that resulted in. So like this is what caused that to happen. Not that I made a video, but that this is the movement, and then a video came out of it. If I'm going to get in a video at all, I've contemplated starting YouTube for a very long time, and part of the reason I didn't is because the overhead of like videos and stuff is so, you know, like you could spend 10 hours or 5 hours or 8 hours, you know, making a YouTube video and rendering it out. And if I'm going to do that, I don't want it to be this. If I'm going to do content creation like that, it's going to be something totally different. But this is what I want right now. So like I want to build a community this way, and usher in like a new generation, not a new generation of youth. I'm saying usher in a new generation of the internet, where people are allowed to be who they are, and not feel judged, and not feel like they have to look cool. I'm going to, like I said countless times, I want to have egg on my face all the time, and that's me. You're getting me. You're not getting the product of who I am. You're getting, I mean, you're not getting the product of a superficial me. This is me, and that's what I want. And I want a community of, in some cases, it's going to be no faces, right? People that aren't the face of anything, that are just in a community and they feel uplifted, and you know maybe that drives some people away from considering self-harm, you know, or harming others, right? Like have a place where people can be fostered and now granted I can't be everyone's social support system, but like having a place where you can go and if you try to break out from a bad feeling, you'll be supported by other people that want to break out and have a better life, a better life for themselves, and you know like you know just like help steer them in a better way, right? And that goes from you know well, but also you know people in other generations, you know, that are, you know, I look at some YouTube channels and I'll look through the comments and there'll be like a 75-year-old posting, "You're welcome here too," you know, like I know it's different, but like you're welcome here. Like maybe you to you might feel like you missed the boat on learning how to kickflip, but there's going to be people in the community that know how to kickflip, right? And you'll at least be able to cheer them on, you know, and you can offer, you know, from your ivory tower or from your perch in your experience in life, some information that might help people, so you feel like you're valued too, you know. Because that's what it is. That's, I think, the most important thing about a community is people feeling valued. This isn't a tier system. It's not like because I made the channel, I'm gonna kick you out, right? Like everyone's welcome. Like be courteous though, and be a good person, please, because what I'm trying to build here is what is something that I think deep down everyone wants, and I think deep down would benefit every human on the planet, right? Doing good, letting people be more social without necessarily being able to go on a not everyone has the ability to go out and spend a bunch of money to go to a club to like meet people. Um, and I'm not saying for any particular reason. I'm just saying like maybe you don't have the ability to go hike that mountain, but you really want to go hiking. Maybe you can be involved here, and maybe from that you can start building the courage and the funds and the community to go on a hike with more people that are like-minded that you just happen to find through another community that you didn't think you were going to find people through. How cool is that? That like you joined a community that was a guy tinkering on his computer, and it led you to like a circle of 20 friends. You know, like that sounds weird, but like I think you're more likely to find people that will be more like you if you end up in a place like this, and that will allow you to grow your circle, and those are people you would have never met through your own walk in the town or the city or the sport you're in. You would have never met, if you're in basketball, you're going to meet basketball players, especially in bigger cities, and like, or like in the computer club. You're only going to meet people in the computer club. And granted, there's a lot. This is all about a computer. It's a computer. This is a computer channel, but it's a community of people doing cool things that just happen to bring you guys all together and find people all together because this channel happened to exist and it has a Discord channel. Yeah. So I'm really excited to see kind of like what happens out of this. It's in some ways it definitely is a social experiment. That second half of this channel being like a Discord group of just people that stumbled upon this channel. I think there's an opportunity where what you could classify as anon, has another means of finding like-minded people. I know there's Discord. I know there's other Discords. I know there's 4chan. There's this and that. But like even 4chan isn't live to the sense that like you can directly interact, right? You can't like someone's post, I don't think, in 4chan. So like Discord has value, and I think it's a good place to have a community like this. And then in the meantime, I'm tinkering on this and interacting with you people too. But yeah, hopefully we can build some really cool things as well. Just because there's things on my list doesn't mean that those are the things that we're going to be doing. And the channel's not going to end when I'm done with the 5 things. Like, it's going to continue. Like, I came to the conclusion that I want to do all these things because I did things before them, right? I did something, and it made me want to do something next, and then it made me want to do something more. And finally, I just got to the point where I'm a serial um, tinkerer, and I just want to like that's what I want to present to the world. Like, hey, I tinker on stuff, and you can either watch or not, and you can either join the community. Um, yeah, and this is the medium that I want to present it as. Um, so we'll see how it unfolds. Um, but I would like to find a way to reach a really massive audience, not to not for myself, but I want to find a way to reach a massive audience because then that's a sign that this that the world can change in a good way. I think like it's just my way of kind of seeing what happens when you push against that bubble of differences. Can you find similarities? Can like people gel? Like there's all kinds of interesting like social construct, philosophical kind of underpinnings that can be explored by if this even works, right? Like there's a guy doing long form videos of ranting and some tinkering, shuffling his priority list, what happens out of that? Is it just someone talking to the void, or does it turn into like a massive movement of like people doing things because they want to do it rather than because they need to do it, or wanting to do it because rather than it's just like, and maybe we save someone from going out and doing something stupid because now they like have something that they're inspired to go write their own, C Python, you know, embedded module, right? Like someone that would have otherwise never had the inspiration might stumble upon this and say, "Oh wow, this is an opportunity for me to do something better rather than hang out with that crowd that might get me in trouble," you know, um, or this is something I can do instead of go out to the bar, and I can still drink, but I don't have to go out to the bar. I can sit right here and at least I'm not driving drunk home, right? I'm sitting at home and I'm enjoying. Um, an environment where an atmosphere where other people are chatting and having a good time, and and I can contribute back what I like. And maybe I'm not saying like drinking's bad. Obviously, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is drinking and driving is, and you don't want to put yourself in that position necessarily, do you? Like if you can have a good time drinking at home and you can be involved in a community, you're getting the entire social experience of being at a bar, except the cigarette smoke, and then you get you don't have to worry about getting a ticket or hurting yourself or someone else, right? So like maybe this community gets one drunk driver off the road. That'd be pretty cool, and that person's life is now in some ways, I don't want to say saved, but like, because that's kind of pretentious, but like that person that was going to go drinking out and drive home, is now like, hey guys, I'm just going to stay at home. How about you join me in this Discord, right? We're already doing that. And that's the thing is like this could be in the background running while you're gaming, right? Like this is just about like people being connected more, because like especially in the last couple of years, I don't have to go into this at all because I think everyone knows, but like the level of like social, uh like it's, I don't want to, I want to be careful on how I say it, but I think there's something that everyone feels, which is that we have to be social, and maybe you don't feel comfortable being social in person. Or maybe you do, and like this sounds weird to you, but then you go into Discord, or you're hearing the stream, and like it's actually not as bad as you thought it was. And like you can still have your social life in person with everyone, but you can also have this like side where you're interacting with people that you just happen to find on the internet through an unconventional medium. Um, which isn't so unconventional. Like people stream on YouTube all the time, and I'm sure like people meet people through that, and become friends. What I'm saying, or business partners, right? Like, like I'm going to be doing my ventures as well here, right? So like you might meet someone that has funding for a project, and like it's not a bad thing. Like, good. You found someone that's willing to help fund your project, or like you get hired into a company because the CEO of a company is a no is a degen like you, right? And he's watching this stream, like, maybe not a degen like you. What I'm saying is, or even a degen, but like what I'm saying is like maybe you find like-minded people and you end up yourself out of a bad situation financially because someone here has, is a manager and needs a Python developer, and the Python channel has a guy or a woman or a friendly person posting their Python code. And now, and you didn't get found through GitHub, you got found through a Discord channel that was just a bunch of tinkerers and people, and then now you're working on an awesome project and you have a great manager and all this other stuff, compared to, writing, maybe you're a developer already, but like you're in a bad situation and you just happen to like, like someone kind of reached their hand into the bag and pulled you out of a bad situation because they found you through a channel that they know is going to be good people. You know, um, I can't guarantee that everyone in here is going to be going to be a good, what even is a good person. But what I'm saying is like there's an opportunity here where like, like you can at least you have an opportunity to have a fresh start and try to be a good person to whatever that is to you, and maybe that will help, you know either inspire you to do better or put you in a situation where you have done better because of this, right? And now you're in a better situation. Um, and yeah, so I've been stuck on this page here or this terminal here for a second. Let me grab my keyboard and reset. So, I don't have the browser right now, and I need to fix the browser. Let me check real quick to see if the stream's still live. I know I was chatting there for a bit. It says I am. Yeah, I do want to figure out a way to get broadcasting to Twitch as well, because I feel like more people on Twitch are kind of browsing live, and if they stumble upon this, then I think I'll get a faster uh, litmus test of if this is something that people actually want. But I'm going to do it even if people don't really want it, because like I've kind of already put myself in that position where I'm going to do that. Um, but it would be nice to start getting people in here so that they can start contributing to various things that they are interested in contributing as part of. Um, and YouTube, I think, is more of a I'll turn on a live stream and kind of go to sleep, right? Whereas I think Discord is a little more. I'm sorry, Twitch is a little more geared toward live like interactions. And that's not to say anything about like one group of people versus the other. I don't care, either way. And I myself have used YouTube. I've used Twitch a little bit. Like I've seen a couple of Twitch live streams. Um, but yeah, we'll see. How this plays out. I definitely want to be able to like broadcast to both. So let me actually add that as well. Let's go over here to this and go to VI topics. So that's going to be part of operations, OBS, and that's actually pretty high on this for me, honestly. Broadcast, because I want to expand the reach, right? I want to expand the reach. Um, Broadcast to Twitch, to more um, platforms simultaneously. So there's Twitch, Kick, and I'm not going to put YouTube because I'm already on YouTube, and I don't plan on going away from YouTube either. I don't want to do Facebook, but I don't know if I want to do Kick either. But I definitely want to do Twitch because I do like, you go to some live streams on Twitch, and it's usually a good vibe. Um, and I know YouTube's a good vibe because I've been on Twitch and YouTube, so I know as a user, those are good environments, those are good ecosystems. If I'm doing something crazy, they will protect you from me. Like they'll cancel my account or whatever. There's better policing from them, which protects you, right? Because like I want people to trust who I am, and the best way to trust who I am is to be on a platform where I have to be a good person so that I can stay on them, right? Um, Not that I'm a bad person when I'm not streaming. I'm just, you know, I could make my own streaming. I'm a tinkerer, right? I can make my own streaming platform. But maybe I'm a really bad person, and you don't know that. And I'm not found anyway because who wants to use a streaming platform with one guy on it? So what I'm saying is like they're a good filter for good stuff, and they allow people to be found, right? Twitch does, and so does YouTube. I just don't know about Kick. I've seen the website. I signed up for it the day it was launched, but I never used it. I clicked on one thing, and then I got out of it immediately, and I think I even deleted the app. Not because it was anything other than okay, like another one of these. Um, you know, do I have it on my phone? Oh, I do still have it. Okay, I didn't uninstall it. Um, but yeah, and like content I really through Kick. It was a video on Twitter or X. I think at the time it was called Twitter still. So I am right in saying Twitter. But like, I guess the founder of, or the CEO anyway, of Twitter, or I'm sorry, the CEO of Twitch was like walking through some guy's live stream that was live streaming at a convention, and he was on Kick, and then it was just a really awkward interaction. I'm not going to go into that because I don't care. I'm just saying that was the only thing I saw. And it was something that just popped up in my feed. I watched it. I didn't even know what it was, and I watched it. You know, I think I watched it twice just to really understand what I saw, and then I moved on with my life. Um, so yeah, maybe Kick's a good place. I don't know, but I'm definitely going to be on Twitch. And I'm definitely going to be on YouTube, and we'll see if I'm on Kick too. But the only way to do that is to get broadcasting, like simultaneous broadcasting set up. So there might be some time where I'm down in the broadcast, but leading up to making the config change, I will be in the broadcast. So it would be like a stop stream, start stream situation to now be broadcasting, and then um, I'd be in that. And then if it doesn't work, I would drop out and drop back into the original broadcast or a new broadcast where it's the old settings. So I need to figure out exactly how I'm going to do that because like there could be a window there where like I broke OBS for like an hour. So, but I want to be on stream for everything that's going on. You know, if I'm fixing OBS, if whatever it is, right? Um, like all the stuff is just it's content, and it's variety, you know. And I think that's pretty addictive. Is like, you know, sure, like you can sit down and watch like the video you want to watch about GitHub, right? But like that's not my market. My market isn't to get people to watch me on GitHub. What I'm trying to get is a community of people to watch and be a part of a of a of a, a who wants to be a part of this. Who wants to like watch someone fail and learn and be a part of that experience and contribute to that, and you know, where does that go? That's what I'm a part. That's what I care about. I don't want like to post a video about GitHub. uh, it was a good tool. It's great. The tool's amazing. Microsoft bought them and they're doing really good with it. But like I'm not going to do an overview. Who knows? Maybe I'll do a business overview of the financials of GitHub, like you know whatever's public, right? Like I'm up for all kinds of stuff. Um, yeah. So yeah, I mean, and I don't want to get into investments and giving advice on that front. I really want to avoid that. But like you know, there's all kinds of things. Like I'm interested in a lot of stuff, and so I just want to do a lot of stuff. You know, there might be days where I'm just sitting in a spreadsheet, right? Like making a spreadsheet look better, right? So it's easier to read while I am working through a project, right? Like the whole thing. You're here for whatever part you see. So what was the last thing I added? I just want to make sure I added it. It was under. I think it was under OBS broadcast more. Yeah, and I probably need to improve my NeoVim. So let's go down here to configs. I need to improve my NeoVim because I do want to like have better like I want to be able to like hide some of this stuff. I don't and maybe there's nothing to do with NeoVim to do that in the current format. Maybe I have to format my files or something. But I want to be able to like click a box and drop and hide all of the config stuff. So I'm not scrolling through 75 lines, you know. So let's add that as a like a priority thing. Actually, the disable thing is pretty high. It's above plugins. So it's plugins are secondary or third are tertiary. Plugins are tertiary. Secondary is fixing that thing when I log in or when I launch NeoVim that I don't have something covering half the screen for 10 seconds. But the first priority right now is to be able to like manage this file that we're in because we're in it all the time. So and it might be a plugin, but I want to explicitly say that I want enabled feature, or enabled functionality. Um, enable functionality for hiding or minimizing. I don't want to say minimizing, hiding. I don't want to say hiding. I want to say minimizing. Minimizing sections. I just want to be able to like either like ideally through the keyboard. Like if I see how I'm right here on line 83 or 82. Let's go to 83. Let's say I go all the way to like see my cursor. See how I go all the way to the beginning. If I can be here and hit HH twice when I'm already in that section, so I'm hitting L to move this way. I'm hitting J to move this way. I can hit 0, and it takes me to the beginning. That's a Vim thing. And maybe I'm going overboard on explaining that. But what I'm saying is, when I get here, I want to hit a button. I want to keep going to the left, and that minimizes a subsection. I want to be right here. I want to hit HH when I'm already at a spot where I'm at 0. And if the counter starts to go negative, which it doesn't, I hit HH or some other key, and then it drops. I think the functionality of hitting HH here, or going up here to config, and I'm moving through config, and I go to the first character, and I hit, and I'm not going to the first character. It could be like that. The point is I go all the way to the beginning of the line. And I keep going to the left like 2 times, and that registers that I want to hide this. Because that's something I can remember, right? And then if it's minimized, then it shows up as like a some kind of character like that, right? And if I see that character, that means I can hit JJ, because right now HH is the farthest I can go left, and JJ is the farthest I can go right. Or I'm sorry, LL. LL is the farthest I can go right. If I do LL, and when I see one of these, it expands this into what it is, So again, like, this isn't above config. This would replace config. Like, the config stuff would be hidden behind everything below this. And then when I do when I do LL, that gets removed, and this all expands. Kind of like you see like a triangle with an arrow pointing one way or the other in like other terminal or other especially like in programming environments, right? Where like you have a function, you want to hide the function. I want to be able to hide like this when it's not important. And I kind of actually want to put NeoVim up here above i3. Another thing, watch this. When I hit D, this thing shows up. And I know what it is. I can't remember what it's called. But I want to reduce it showing up when I hit D. Because I don't have any commands for D that I need to see the explanation for. And I use D all the time. D is how I delete stuff, right? You hit DD and it deletes something. Well, what I do is sometimes, because what you do, all right, let's say I delete that. That's now in my register. I can print it anywhere else I want it. I can print it as many times as I want it. So I hit D all the time to copy stuff if I want to move it from one line to the next. But when you want to move multiple lines, you can move multiple lines by doing D and then the number of lines below it, right? So D3, J, removes those. But I'm so slow in typing it that when I hit D, that shows up. And now I can't see what I want to highlight. So that's a quality of life thing, and it looks ugly on the stream. So I want to do D3 fast, but it's not about doing D3. I have to do D3 and then hit J to go down. So I'm deleting this line plus 3 down. So J is down. So I'm hitting D to delete, and it registers delete, but it doesn't delete yet. And then I hit the number of lines I want to go down, which is 3. And then I hit J, which takes me down that far. And then that completion of that command deletes those lines. But in the middle of me typing that command, this is what's in the way. And you can see down at the bottom, delete, and then there's a 3. That's because that's the next thing I pressed. When I hit J, it registers and it completes the command. But it's in the way. But what if I need to delete 20 lines and I'm counting them, and I hit D and now I can't count, so I have to escape and I have to keep doing it until I can count, or I don't do it and I have to count first. I just want to be able to move fluidly, and I move fluidly by doing things on the fly. So anyway, enable functionality for minimizing sections specifically within topics file. In fact, I might have to make topics file like a certain file type. So then when I'm interacting with this, it just knows. Or maybe I can give it some header. If a file starts with topics, which this does, then it will behave a certain way. That's essentially a NeoVim plugin. But maybe there's functionality. Maybe instead of writing a plugin, maybe I change my syntax, because there's already some functionality in here if I name the file like a JSON file. In fact, let's try that. If I move, let's cd into bits for bytes, and let's move topics to topics topics.json, which it's not a JSON file. When I open it, it'll probably give me a bunch of errors. Topics.json. Yeah, this is all errors. Can I minimize stuff though? Yeah, I can't. Okay, let's go up real quick. Whoops. Let's go up and go to the top and do hello world. I just want to see something real quick. And then this will be a comma. Whoops. And then I will do, well, let's make it look nice. I'm sorry. 1 second. There we go. And maybe we have an object here like object. And this will be an object. And then I'll just put like planet Earth with a comma. Do I need it? So I need to do quotes and then it deletes the quotes. That's beautiful. Thank you. That's kind of annoying. So I put that in there and then it immediately deleted them. And then it, oh, the issue was with a colon. Okay, wait, what? Colon expected. Unexpected end of string. What do you mean end of string? Oh, there's an extra. Oh, I see. It's just hiding it when I go until I go over it. Okay, that's not so bad. Trailing comma. Oh, there's no comma. All right, because there's no extra thing in the object. Just bear with me here. I'm tinkering. Expected comma. Are working. If my plugins aren't working, I'll find out. Right? That's how I see it. So part of my problem is I should have started doing this a long time ago. Because if I'd done this a long time ago, like this would already be out and like I'd already be making progress on the things. But you know, the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. I planted my tree yesterday, so we'll see. But it'd be nice if I was already like deep in the weeds on all this stuff. But I'm not. So like you know, we'll get there. It's going to be slow up front, but over time it'll be fun. And I think there's just an opportunity here to like even for me, this is just an outlet at the end of the day, right? This is an outlet for me, um, and it allows me to connect with like-minded people, and it allows me to, when I'm interacting with those people, for those people to know who I am, right? I don't like being in situations where I'm totally unknown, You know, there's times where I like being unknown, but like I want to be involved in the community of people that are making cool things and doing cool things, and I do that, but I feel like an outsider because of my current, situation. So that's led me. It's kind of pressed me into what I'm doing now, which is this. So um, I've met some really cool people that have done really awesome things, um, kind of across the board in SecOps, like security stuff, even before the term SecOps was a thing. Like with fracking back in the day, all the way up through artificial intelligence and the other side of the spectrum. Like I've met a lot of people doing that have done really cool things, and I always feel like I'm an outsider, even though I want to do it, but like I've always held back because I don't have maybe the the support system around me as well, right? Like that's important, like obviously, like to be the greatest, right? Like Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant or Tom Brady, they didn't need someone standing over their shoulder telling them to like get involved, and I don't need that either. But like I'm not involved if it's just me. I can tinker and tinker and tinker, but if it's not just if it's just me doing it and I'm by myself, then like that's not rewarding as much as it is if other people are piling in, kind of sharing their code and like what they're working on. I'm interested in that, and like I don't want to have to go find it. I don't want to have to go find someone else that's doing cool stuff. If they just come to the community, right? They just end up in the community. Then like cool people are doing cool stuff. And this is a place for cool people to do cool stuff. And it doesn't have to be a hacker group, and you don't have to pay to like be a part of this elite group, right? You're elite. You don't have to pay for that. You're here. Be a part of it. Sometimes the best things are free, and this is free in the sense that you're not like sure you're giving your time, but like that's what I'm saying is like in a stream I said I went over yesterday, like what you're doing needs to be the thing, right? Not putting in the time, not paying the money for it, right? Like I bought so many books and they didn't give me anything because I never used them, right? Like you can throw money at a problem, that don't solve it. Um, a lot of times, right? Like you solve the problem by committing to it, and this is me committing to it. I want to move forward on projects, and I have to, and I can hold myself accountable. That's never been the problem, but I want I want more out of it than just like, hey, I did something with a Raspberry Pi, and like I don't want the medium to be a 30-minute YouTube video where I talk and you have nothing to input, and then you leave a comment and I never go back and look at it, and I have 5 million subscribers, and who are you? I don't want that. I want to be a part of a community, and the only way I've seen to be able to be a part of the community anymore is to just put yourself out there, and that's what I'm doing. Um, yeah, and by no means, like sure, you could consider me like, and I've been a lead, and I've managed people and stuff, but like I don't want it to be like that. That ain't what it is, I'm just someone that's trying to progress as a person. I want nothing other than you to enjoy it too. Um, yeah. So how many do we have now? We have 120 lines. Granted, there's spaces and everything. Um, how can I guess it doesn't matter. I like to run. Actually, let's do journal CTL real quick and just see if there's any new recent errors. Go to the bottom. There's still some weird stuff, but see, that's another thing. Like people will say like, oh, I'm totally public with everything, and I have my .config file on or .m files or whatever, my dot files on GitHub. But like they don't let you into their home. They're not showing you their syslog. Like that's what I'm trying to bring is like I'm trying to lift the veil of like what like, and maybe that's not the content you're interested in. That's okay. I know I've said that quite a few times, but like this is what I'm dealing with. Why not put it out there? I'm dealing with things like all the time. Um, It's usually always, for a customer or something, but like this is what I'm dealing with, and probably the reason I'm in the situation I'm in is because I've done so much for other people that I've let my own, it's like if you take care of everyone else's problems except your own, then eventually who's going to take care of your problems, because you're in a situation where you can't anymore because you're old or whatever. So like now's the time just for me to take back and fix myself, right? Fix my environment, and do things, and why not show people that journey. And it's not that bad of an environment. I think we already solved the problem kind of by not using Qt browser. The problem that I have now is that I want to use Qt browser and I can't. Um, so what I might do is launch Qt browser and run this Discord, or run this live stream now. So now we're on a clock, and I'm not going to do anything. Well, maybe I can. Maybe I can do some kind of. How can I? I want to do some like running clock that will show me how long this has been running. Yeah. Let's do something funny. Let's do this. Can I do time? Oh, is it watch? Can I do? I want to do something like this. I want to do. Well, I'll show you what I'm doing. I want to do watch. Um, time it. I just want to see if I can watch. Is watch not a command? Watch. Okay, but what do I want to do with watch? I want to watch, and I want to have the clock running, so I can have like a rudimentary clock. I can do it with other things, but why not just do it with like core stuff if I can? That's a cargo thing? Oh, because I'm on new shell. Let's do. Let's see if I can figure it out. What I want to do. Okay, I want to. I want to get a clock running, and then I want to launch Qt browser, and then I want to continue with the stream, and then I want the computer to crash to see how long Qt browser lasted by having the clock, there showing us how long the computer lasted with while I'm using Qt browser. Because like last night, the stream ended at like 1:30, 1:45 in the morning my time, because at this point I know because Qt browser was running. I was in Qt browser, I was scrolling through, I was reading something, and then my computer shut off. So I think it'd be funny just to have the clock running, and see how long the computer lasted with Qt browser running. And I'll run it in a way that I'll do Qt browser, like I'll probably do something like this. I'll do Qt browser, and then I'll do my clock thing that will run both at the same time. So when Qt browser launches, the clock starts, and then we'll move them over to the right screen and everything. Speaking of which, no, I was gonna do something. I was gonna do something in i3 as well. I'll tell you what I was gonna do, but I'm not gonna do it. I was going to do. Let's do OSB real quick. Gee, come on. All right. I was going. I was going to consider making one for Qt browser, but sometimes I launch the YouTube thing on my second monitor, so I don't want to deal with that. Again, I'm not hiding anything over there. I just don't. Sometimes I don't want the YouTube thing in the middle of my stream. The YouTube thing is irrelevant. It's just that that's the tool that is available to me right now. I tried Discord, but it just something was. I'm sorry. I tried Twitch before I tried YouTube the other day, and for some reason it just wasn't. It wasn't feeling right, and I wanted to do YouTube too, so I figured let's just do YouTube now, and then I'll do Twitch too, right? um, so YouTube is kind of the if anyone finds me through here first, like you're going to be an OG. Um, um, we'll be on Twitch probably before the end of the week. Today's Thursday. I should totally be on Twitch, before then. But we'll see. Maybe by next week I'm on Twitch. Um, so what would I do? Oh, I wanted to figure out a watch command. Oh, I just want the timer. Watch log all changes. What? Sleep. Hmm. Oh, that's what I could do. I could do watch, loop, sleep. No, watch, loop. Yeah, sleep, 10. I'm sorry. I have to do command first. So command's going to be date now, and we'll work on that in a second. And then I'm going to do sleep 30 seconds. I'm not going to be too egregious with that, or maybe even 60 seconds. And of course, the example never works. I'm I want to like new shell, but this is absurd. Like even their example is showing it doesn't work. Like, come on, what are you doing? Fix that. You are looking to run a command every n units of time. This can be accomplished with a loop and a sleep. Oh, and sleep. Okay. Unexpected duration valid units. Do I have to do like 60s? Oh, sec. Okay. So it does work. I'm just I talk before I react, or I react before I move forward sometimes, which is something I really want to not do. So this is a chance for me to kind of like have community, like, so there is like opportunity for people to hold me, like, you know, you're gonna hear me say I don't want to do that. Well, then you can hold me, please hold me accountable a little bit to like that kind of stuff. I also want to stop cussing. There's no reason to be cussing. Um, you know, and I have done pretty good on this. I think I've said one negative, you know, or I've had one hit, you know. There's no reason to be, you know, I just want to be a better person, and this is helping me be a better person. Um, and maybe it inspires someone else to, like, you know, do something good. So watch, loop, date now, sleep 60 seconds. For now, I'm going to do sleep 1 because I don't want to be sitting here all day. Loop, not a directory not found. Do I have to remove the word loop? Okay. Watch, flag, path, closure. Missing positional. Yeah. So loop is there's a space there, but it doesn't. Why is it looking for a directory? New shell directory not found. Arcs loop does not exist. Okay, what? Of course loop doesn't exist. Do I have to make a directory called loop to be able to run loop? Now watching files at. That is weird. I had to make a directory called loop so loop would run, and now it's not even running. Now watching files at loop. It's not even running the command. It's running the. Oh my goodness. Wait, okay, what I could do is I could watch Qt browser wherever. I could watch Qt browser and see whenever files change, and then print out timestamp, which might actually help me solve the problem, right? Because maybe it will show a stream glitch or something. Not a stream. I'm talking about an exec stream. Um, hmm. Let's figure this out. I don't want to like. Is there something in temp? Actually, let's go to journal. And then see what it was writing to before. Let's go to. Let's just type in Qt. And I know there's a bunch of them, so let's go further down. Let me go like 300 down. Here we go. And now keep doing N. So where is this writing to? See, there was an error there. Killing sandbox. What in the world? Oh, that was my pod. Okay. That was the Kubernetes stuff that I was. So that was an error that doesn't even have an error. See, if I start right here, see the error 4 for Qt Engine Core or Qt Web Core. I wonder if that actually was Kubernetes the whole time. Because maybe they're using Qt for some reason, and like Ranger might be using Qt. I mean, that's just weird that it's all kind of lined up together with a failed sandbox thing. Okay, so maybe Qt browser wasn't the problem. Maybe it was this in the background. But you see that, and then it's black for a minute, and then in a second you'll see a big red. Yeah, you'll see a red brace there, right in the middle of the screen. It's going up on the left side. It's at the top now. All right, now it's gone. What the hell? What in the world was that? And then here's the Qt engine thing again. Yeah, it's weird. That's me. Sorry, 1 second. Oh. Okay, so let's go like 600J and then N. Yeah, so here's where we were, and then here's the problem again. Oh, but that's way a long time ago. Yeah, so I'm not too worried about that. I'm gonna go like 30,000 lines down. Let's just hit N again. Let's go another 3,000 lines down. So now we're getting closer to now. And there's been no QT stuff because I'm not running. Yeah, we're at the bottom. Yeah, there's no Q. Let's see where the first QT thing is. It's this. Up. I mean, first up, right? And that was shut down. And that was, see all the Kate stuff or K3S stuff? I keep saying Kate's. Kate's is Kubernetes. And I'll explain. I don't have to explain that right now, but just know that Kate's, when I say Kate's, is Kubernetes, and I'm slandering Kate's when I say Kate's right now because Kate's isn't the problem, and I don't know what the problem is, but it's definitely not Kate's. It would be K3S, which is a Ranger product that like emulates Kubernetes or enables Kubernetes at a local environment. So I don't mean to keep saying Kate's, and you guys think that Kate's is a bad thing that's broken. No, if anything, K3S is the problem, which is some companies open source product. And again, I don't know if that's the problem. I see Qt, and I'm just assuming that maybe there's a small chance that that Ranger is using Qt for like a front end thing that I don't care about, and it's just running in the background, and that's actually what's crashing. I don't know, but it's just weird that it keeps being nested around K3 stuff. I'm sorry, this Qt crash keeps being nested around K3 stuff. You can see all these killed and wait, and then kernel failure on a proc seg fault. I don't have enough information on that, and I guess I could get more. Yeah, Qt engine core, but it doesn't say what it was a part of. And then the core dump is the Qt thing. And I'm hoping that there's something in here, but again, I could be slandering K3S, and it is Qt browser. I don't know. So what I want to do is put a timer on Qt browser, or put a timer on the startup of Qt browser, and then run a watch. So what I might do is actually do this. I might do another terminal, user bin bash. I know how to use watch here, so reset, and actually let's run this on page 2, and I'm just going to do Qt. Well, no, let's figure out what I'm going to do first with the watch. So it's going to be like watch date, and that's going to keep running. But I don't want to do date. I want to do a timestamp. So I want to like figure out a way to do like count the amount of seconds since now in a watch command, I think. So for that, it would just be like, I want to do time, like time now minus, and this is pseudocode, by the way, time now minus, whatever time it is right now. So let's just say 5 p.m., right? But it's not going to be 5 p.m. I want that to be the dynamic time of now, or time of the original. I'm going to like log the time. So maybe I need a bash script actually. So let's just do like Qt. I don't want to call it Qt browser, but it is. Yeah, because I can just run the command that has Qt browser and that runs as well. So let's just do Qt diag. I'm kind of diagnosing a problem on .sh, and we'll just do bin bash, and we'll come down here and we'll say, and I haven't written bash in like probably 3 years, so bear with me, or 2 years, definitely more than 1 year. I'll say that definitely more than 1 year. I have not written enough bash to remember bash. Time now is, I don't even know. I could probably do this all in Epic. So you'll see me kind of work through this. So, date. Okay, good. So I want to do date to Epic though. Is Epic a command? It isn't. Date dash E. Okay, date dash help. There's an Epic I just haven't. It's been a while since I've had to use. Last time I did anything with date was in JavaScript about a year ago. Yeah, actually about a year ago. I want to do epic because then I get millisecond or time. I get the seconds, and I can just calculate the seconds, the difference in seconds. If I can find epic, there's another name for it that it might be called in here. Yeah, there it is. Date. Convert second since the epic. Yeah. Is it just date dash dash date? Oh no. Then I provide the epic and then it gives me a timestamp or something probably. What I want to do is just do date epic. And I'm saying epic. I've heard epoch as well. I know that sounds kind of weird that I'm even bringing this up, but like, like I deal and globally people say things differently. And I think when I was first exposed to epic or to this phrase, I was working with someone from South Africa, and he said the word epoch, and I anything the same way. I'm just saying like he just happened to be from South Africa and the country, and he was an incredible engineer, one of the most influential people I've had in my life in terms of of my career. And he said the word one time, and I was like, "What in the hell's an epic?" Or I'm sorry, an epoch. What in the hell's an epoch? And then he was telling us the time since then, and I'm like, "Oh, I know that." I just didn't know, and I never heard it called anything before. I just always assumed, it was like there was another. I know there was another name for it, but epoch is kind of the term that the way I was introduced to that phrase, and he said epoch, and then I was actually corrected by someone that uh, uh, I don't, what is it? Someone that graduated from like an Ivy League school, and he had like a literature background, and I said epoch, and he's like, "You mean epic?" I was like, "Yeah, I do." Yeah. So now I say epic because I was corrected by someone that you know uh, was my boss. uh, so now I say epic, but I say epoch. I say them interchangeably. I don't really care which one it is. Um, anyway, so I just want to get the epoch, and I can't remember how to do it, and I don't want to go through all this stuff here. Um, actually, I have a way I can. Oh yeah, there it is. Time sense. Yeah. Oh, it's percent %s. I knew that. So yeah. So date percent %s is not working. Do I have to do something before my percent? See, I'd rather just give like a flag. I'd rather just give a flag. I want the date in seconds that I can calculate against. And I don't want a bunch of crazy stuff. I just want the epoch or epic. Come on. Um, all options that specify the date to display are mutually exclusive. Okay. Oh, do I have to do dash dash date? I think I have to do date dash dash date percent %s. No? Date percent %s. I'm pretty sure that was what it was date percent %s. Do I have to do it? Come on. All right. Oh, I was gonna go to ChatGPT. Um, this shouldn't be so hard. TLDR date. Give me the epic. There it is. I think. Dash D. That's the convert. Yeah, to a unit. I don't want to convert to a Unix. Oh, I have to do a plus. That's right. All right. Date plus. There we go. There's the epic. Now that's how many seconds it's since then. When I launched my program, I want it to launch with that timestamp as the start of my program timestamp, and I'll calculate the epic every iteration against that time to see how many seconds elapsed. So I'll go back into my bash file, and we'll do time now. I'm sorry, time start. And I forgot, in Vim, on this keyboard, it's kind of weird, so bear with me. So this is going to be, and I think I have to do it like this, because it's a string. And I can do echo time start. It already failed. Dot slash. I'm gonna run it one more time just because. All right, so VIQ. So line 3 is this one. So do I just remove these? Command not found. Oh, I have to do like. Is it var? It's been so long since I messed with bash. Var is not found. It's not set. I thought it was just that. It's not local. Honestly, I thought it was just that. Like, I thought that was all it was. One second. I'm not trying to run it multiple times. Echo, and then I'm just echoing the command, like the command. Is there a extra space or something? No. All right. So I know this is kind of ridiculous. I've been talking up a big game and I don't know bash. I do know bash. It's just like I said, it's been a long time. And this is like a pretty simple thing. But this is also the way I work. Like I tinker more than I care to be proud about how much I know. So I just want to run. So I don't want to echo time going forward necessarily. Plus, I don't even want the value of the epic displayed. All I care about is time start, time now, which will be a function. And maybe that's what I need to do is actually make a function and then execute it as, yeah, maybe I can do that. Yeah, maybe that's what I'll do is I'll make a function for time start, which sets a variable, and then I'll do a function for time now, and then we'll have another function that executes time start, time now, and subtracts the two. I know this is a bit overkill to like test Qt browser, but why not? I have nothing else to do, and I want to tinker, so this is what I'm doing. And I don't remember. Is it just function? Function test. It's been a while since I've written anything in bash, like I said, so I think I can get rid of the braces here, or the whatever parentheses. Let's try that. Okay, I failed at that too. That's line 8. Am I even? Do I even have? I did have line 8. Okay. There we go. Okay, I remember how to do a function. And I'm not going to have these at I'm not going to have like a main function. I'm going to do script kiddie style where I just have like a function for time now, which will. I'm sorry, time. I'm going to do both, but so time now and time start. Time start is when the program starts. Time now is right now, and I'll keep executing that in a loop. So I guess I do need to have a loop. So we'll do let's see how I want to do this. So let me see if I can get date working here. And it's okay that these are identical for now. And then I'll just do time start, time now. Let's just see if that works. Okay, that worked. Obviously, I'm not. That's not profound. So what I want to do is save this as a variable. So I'll do. Let's just say test equals time start, and then let's get rid of that for now, and let's comment that out for now. Actually, that's technically correct. I'll keep that. Date now is this as well. I'm just not going to execute it right there. Now let's do echo test and see if that works. Of course. Let's try this. That doesn't work. Okay, that's the failure. So what is going on here? Like, why can't I set a variable? I guess I can return the output, but what I'm trying to do is just like, I don't even want to do this. I literally just want a variable that's set to a value, and I've done this like many times in my career. So I'm not sure what's going on here. Date %s. Let's just try it like that for a second. I know I already tried that, but why is it not letting me set a variable? Is it equals equals? I can't remember bash. Is it? I don't think it's var. Like I can set something. I can set like dog equals date plus %s right now. Can't I? Oh, it is. Okay, I can't. Env? Huh. I'm just trying to remember how to set a variable. Oh, there's no space. That's the issue. Maybe. We'll see. Whoops. Dot slash. Yay, okay. Okay, anyway, so we have I'm just going to call that TS, and then I'm going to run that at the beginning of the program, probably even before I make my next function name. I know that's not standard convention, but I want the time now, not like in a second when it loads it. And I'll have my time now function, which I won't run right now. But then what I need to do is make a function for calculating the difference between time now and time and TS. So we'll do this. We'll say function time diff, and I take an input. I don't know if I can do an input like I think I should be fine just doing it like this. We'll learn pretty quickly. I'm going to do tn equals date plus semi s. That's the date right this minute. And I want to do td equals tn. I'm sorry. Yeah, I want to do the bigger number minus the smaller number. TS. That might work. But I don't want it locally scoped in there. I'd rather have another function where I actually execute the difference. So maybe this might be fine. Yeah, and then I'll just echo it out. So echo TD. And in the meantime, we'll also do echo TS. tn, just to make sure that we're, everything's functioning correctly. And we'll do echo. This is my debug statements, right? Echo ts. And then down here, we'll call time diff. Oh, 1 second. I want to move this up to here. Which I guess maybe it doesn't need to be a function at this point because I'm not calling it again. It's literally one time. And so is this. But this is different because... Well, I can literally call it in here. So let's do that. Tn, we don't need a bunch of functions like that. Equals tn equals backslash. All right, I'm gonna also do some cleanup of the white space, or the white space. 1 second. So I just like having my programs clean, and I don't want like a weird glitch or something caused by my fat fingering and leaving in white space. Okay. So anyway, this is what we got, and that should work. Oh, that's actually printing this statement. I want to cast it to an int. If I can. I should be able to cast it to an int somehow. Maybe Python's the better program to be doing this in. Or language, I mean, to be doing this in. But Bash is fine for now, because again, I'm just tinkering and having fun. So let's just check real quick to make sure this stream is still live. Coffee. All right. I want to make these into integers though. I literally want the difference number. So I could try to figure it out, but I just want to. I'm gonna Google it from my phone real quick. I really don't want to open Qt browser until I have this working, just because the just what I want to do. So let's do bash convert string to int. Okay, that's not so bad. I think I have to, based on what I saw, it's this. I don't need to even do that. I can just do this. Echo, and then it's TD, whoops. Bear with me here. I have to do some weird things because the keyboard doesn't work so well with Linux keyboard, or Mac keyboard doesn't work so well with Bash and like Linux. So I'm going to do that plus, and then, I'm sorry, in my case it's going to be minus, right? It's going to be tn minus td. And then obviously we'll close that out with that, and then get rid of that, and then get rid of that. And now let's get rid of that because we know those are working, and that. We'll do time diff. And this isn't the final product, obviously. We still got some stuff to do. Oh, come on. Line 7. Oh, it doesn't like the minus. What? Come on. Oh, I see. I probably have to do this. I'll see. I'm not sure for. I'm not totally sure. Let's just try that and see if that works. -0. What is TD? Oh, I know. I'm sorry. It's supposed to be TS, which would be the value, but it's still doing the thing wrong. So I want to actually calculate the difference. And obviously that's going to be 0 at first, right? Because it's been running for 0 seconds. But eventually the time start variable will never move, and then time now, so the difference will increase, right? That's I'm measuring time. Um, rudimentarily, I guess. Like very basically, and probably going, like, I'm sure that there's functions in Go that just do this for me. But I want to play with it and make this, and then we'll start Qt Browser and see if Qt Browser uh, uh, fails. And then when that's going on, I'll probably read some more some more Hacker News stuff. So or do some more just poking around and like digging deeper. I actually wanted to show something as well. So I might do that. In fact, let me take a note of that real quick in my VI topic so I don't forget. Let's go over here and close out of this. VIT. There was a blog post I read a long time ago, and I didn't even read it. And it was like a tutorial that goes with it. It was, and I've actually I've seen a lot of those that I want to do, but I'm just going to make a note right here, and I'm just going to call it Julia. It was a macroeconomics thing, and I mentioned macroeconomics in Julia the other day, and it was because of this. So maybe we'll work through that in some fashion. I've never done anything with Julia. I'm not an economist. So anyway, that's there. Actually, let me just leave this open because we'll come back to that later. So we have this diag thing, and I want to measure the time diff. And I like this is a little more than I want to deal with. How to convert a string into integer without the print thing, without the echo thing. I want to do it. Yeah. Oh, I can just do expression. Let's do that. Oh, I see. I don't need the. I'm sorry. I think I know the solution. I don't need this, and I don't need any of this, and I don't need this, and then I'll leave it like that. Let's see if that solves the problem. This should be 0. Yay. Okay, that works. So now what we're going to do, and like it looks like I'm struggling through this, and I am, like, I'm struggling. Conceptually I understand what I'm trying to do here. You'll find that like some of the best engineers are doing this. Like I'm not like a total noob. I haven't used something in a long time. I'm piecing together my knowledge to get it to work, and then later on, like on real projects, we'll be like more appropriately dealing with this kind of stuff. But like this is literally like square zero, first day on the job. I'm trying to do some bash thing, and like I haven't done bash in like 3 years, and somehow they hired me. They hired me, and I'm having to write a bash script for something because the hard drive is running out of space all the time, and I don't want to keep going back there and popping weasels through the through Prometheus or something. So like it's like, yeah, I don't I think it's kind of funny because like I'm talking big game and here I am like dealing with bash, and this is gonna be an entire stream. Every time I'm dealing with Go, I'm talking a big game and I'm fumbling through Go. Yep, it's the content. Somehow people have paid me to do this. uh, okay, so um, they couldn't have hired me because of my prowess in Bash. I think it's just maybe I'm a eloquent speaker, and they think that I'm as good with that as I am with my words. I don't know. So um, And I joke, obviously. Like, I'm very proud of the work I've done and the contributions I've made. Not that I'm so proud that I'm just saying, like, I wasn't goofing off. Like, when I work, and this is work, and I'm goofing off, but like I'm working, and I haven't stopped to, like, go pour myself some water or nothing. I've been working this whole time. My coffee's cold. um, yeah. So anyway, function, time diff, tn, echo. Okay, so that's good. And now I want this on a timer where, like, and maybe I can, yeah, I can't keep executing this script. I need to execute this script one time because I need a placehold. I need to lock in that number. So that's the number when the program starts, and now I need to keep iterating over time diff on a clock. So watch dash S3. Let's just try that. Whoops. I know watch is probably not the best way to do that. It isn't. Okay. Um, I'm pretty sure watch is not the best way to do that. Let's do on a timer. What's the best way to add a timer in Bash? So again, I'm going to my phone. In the future, this is not how I will be working. I will be going to, docs and stuff like that, but like Bash, and I'm trying to do this without the browser because I don't want the browser to launch in case it does crash and crash the stream. So Bash um, have function execute on timer. I can do a while. I don't know if I want to do a while loop. Yeah, I guess I can do a while. It's not that complex. It's literally while. Is it semicolon after while? Let me look one more time. It is, okay. While, and then I usually do a space like that, and then I'll do time diff, and then I'll do sleep 3 just to see if it's working. Of course, it's not. Did I put the do in the wrong spot? I think do is at the beginning. Yeah, I have to start do on the same line like that. And is there an end? There's a done. Okay, let me add done. Cool. Okay, and now that should be 3, and it should just keep iterating up. Yep. Okay, cool. So that's how many seconds Qt browser will have been running for. And what I'm gonna do is do Qt browser from here -Q because I don't want logs, even though that would help. I'm not trying to be that granular yet. And then /Qt diag. Nope. Qt browser. How do I silence logs? I could be running with a debugger and troubleshoot that way, but I'm not. I'm trying to get it to spontaneously happen while I'm doing something else, and then it'll just crash the server, and then that'll be the end of the stream, or crash the. Crash the cube, my personal computer here. How can I run? The reason I want to run it quietly is because I don't want the log errors to be showing up here. I just want the timer, so I can have the timer to the side. Um, Actually, let me do this. Can I execute kitty with a command, like top? Cool. Okay, we'll do that then. So then I can close out of this terminal here. So we'll do Qt, and we'll do kitty /diag. Let's try that. Actually, before we try Qt, let's just try kitty and make sure that this command runs. Yay. Oh, failed to launch child error, no such file or directory. What are you talking about? Oh, I'll do home, just in case. Oh, I'm doing that /. Yeah, well, that is right. I'll do home / like, normally that's what I do is just /. Can I do that? Will that work? That won't work. Why isn't it? I'm pretty sure it's /, isn't it? Like, Oh, is it that extra space? That might be that extra space. That was the issue. That extra space, I didn't see that space. Okay, so now that will run in the background. And let me speed this up for a second. Let me sleep. Whoops. One thing I like about sleep that I really like about Bash is you can like be pretty dang quick with things. There we go. The reason I did that is because I want the number to be on the screen, and I just wanted to see what it would look like as it grew. So let's do every like 40, like let's do every 30 seconds. All right, done. And now we can do Qt browser end. And so like one thing that you're seeing out of this is like this is not the best way to troubleshoot something. This is not the best way to do anything in particular. Did it load Kitty? Where's Kitty? It didn't load Kitty. Oh, come on. Oh, you know what? How about this? I'll load the script, and we'll do Qt browser as well, maybe. Hmm. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's not going to be fun. Let's quit out of that real quick. I want to load both at the same time. I thought you could just do like how can I do Qt browser where? Oh wait, I can do Qt browser BG, right? And I don't know if it's and BG, but we'll try that first, and then Kitty dot slash Qt diag dot sh. Cool. Okay. So now I can. I'll just move this to like page 6, and then go to page 2, and go resize. Whoops. Resize. Why is it? Oh, there we go. Resize. And we'll just make this like really small. And that's good. And we'll get the number of seconds, and we'll calculate the number of seconds when it crashes, if it crashes. So we'll go until the stream crashes, unless I'm sorry, we'll go until Qt browser crashes the computer, and that will be the end of the stream. Otherwise, we will go until I'm done. Um, and I'm not sure. I might actually like take a step away and keep. I don't know. I don't want to keep the stream going if I'm not here, because that's kind of defeats the purpose. But I do want to see like how long this will go, and then reference back to the stream to see what the output was. Unless I also output this to a file. I could output that to a file, but like I already have it running, so it's running. Um, so we've been a minute and it hasn't crashed. I was expected. So now I got to reopen all my tabs because I deleted my tabs, which was not necessary. So Y Combinator Hacker News. I call it Hacker News because that's actually what it used to be called. Yeah, it's still called Hacker News. It's just the website's different. We migrated our PostgreSQL database with 11-second downtime. That's pretty cool. That's actually really cool. But downtime doesn't calculate how like if there's any lost records or anything. So it would be interesting to know if they actually lost any records. Probably not. Like there's things you can do now with like parallelism for like writing to both. Like what you do essentially you have Postgres installed, right, and your database and you're in production and everything's good, and then or not, like you're doing something totally different like MySQL. Well, he said he migrated our Postgres, so that tells me he had Postgres and he still has Postgres, and they just moved it. So anyway, what you do is you have your database, and it's live and doing well, and you have 35 million records or whatever, and then what you do is you launch another database, and for the next month and a half, you you or not it might not take a month and a half, but like you do one pass where you migrate you copy the database data over, and there's ways you can do that. You can stream it over, or you can like physically copy the disk, right? So anyway, you fill the new database, but it's not live. And then what you do is you so you do that, and that might take 2 days, right? But in that meantime, 2 days, there's been production records being written that you don't have because your command only executed. And I'm just saying, like, maybe Postgres has a better way of doing this, but like this is kind of how I've always done database migrations, um, where you would do like a first wave, and you would just get all the data from now, and then that command takes 3 days. It could take a month. It could a week, like however long it takes, and then when it's time to, 1 second. There we go. I just reset my mic on my headset. Um, whenever that time ends and the new data is there, well, that's 5 years of data. That could be 10 years of data. But now you only have 2 weeks. So the next time you run an upgrade, a sync, um, you can sync like to the timestamp of the last time you executed your migration or your copy, or you could go a little bit further behind just in case. But then like any records that are identical will just stay there anyway. Um, so anyway, and there's something you have to think about as well. So I'm going to get there in a second. But so you migrate over the new data as well, so it's there. But then like the other thing you have to consider is that the data that's in the database could have changed since your migration over. Like you copy over 5 years of data, and now you go to copy over the most recent 2 weeks because the migration the copy took 2 weeks. But in the meantime, like there's been records updating of like there's been executions updating the 5-year-old records, right? So you also have to replay what's called like bin logs. And sure, like you right there, you watching this stream, or in the future might know everything and know more than me. But there's other people that don't know anything at all. They don't even know what a bin log is, and so I'm just talking, right? And I could be. You might have a better, more educated thing on this, and please, by all means, like tell me I'm wrong and share. That's what we're doing here. We're sharing. So anyway, like so you have to like replay the logs as well to make sure that like any of the so not only are you copying the more recent 2 weeks over, but you're also running your bin logs against the data set you already have. So you're kind of doing both of those things, and then eventually you get to the point where you've migrated. Now you have like the last 30 minutes, right, that you still need to sync over, and the 30 minutes will take 10 minutes to sync over, and then the 10 minutes will take 4 minutes to sync over, and pretty soon you have all the history in your database, and now you just have something that's streaming just your bin log to the new database. So see how we went from a database with all your files and all your data to a second database that's empty. Well, now you have two databases that are essentially identical, with the exception of the diag. I'm sorry, with the exception of the bin log, with millisecond precision, or maybe a second precision. And then from there you can actually set up that server as a secondary, and you can fail over to it. There you go. And yeah, the downtime could be 11 seconds. You could probably get it down less than that. But it's a government, so like they probably have a lot more than they probably have more than 35 million records. They probably have billions of records. Let's see. Let's see if they told us how many records they used or had. Get out of here. Kibana. I've used Kibana. I've set it up. I don't know. It's good. Yeah, it's good. 400 gigabytes. So how many? Okay, 1.3 billion. Yeah, okay. So I said 35 million. This is like an order of magnitude more. So yeah, 11 seconds. But still, like the 11 seconds could have been 0, because if you are doing parallelism, like at that point where your database, all your data migrated over, like it's literally just flipping a switch, and then all your things are writing to that now. In fact, you can even do it in a way where you're doing both live. Like half of your data, half of your systems. You start with one app starts writing to that one, and then over a week you migrate and you have no downtime. So I'm surprised. 11's an awesome number. Congratulations. I'm not saying that, but like you can do this live and have no downtime. And then maybe that's what they did, and the only downtime they had was one of their services was legacy and had to be shut down and started back up. That might be the problem. So I don't know Bash, apparently, but I can like obviously I have some experience with this kind of stuff. Otherwise, I wouldn't have even been able to say what I said. And granted, I could be totally wrong, and you're a database engineer and an architect and all, and you've built data lakes and all this other stuff. Well, good, um, good for you. That's awesome. I'm not gonna read this. I'm just scanning through in case like there's something in here that sticks out. Yeah, once our full load task completed, we went on to do smaller. I'm not reading it verbatim, but I'm sure. Yeah, many new inserts. Yeah, updated. Yeah, so like the process I just named, and then transaction log. Did I say bin log? I guess transaction log is the better one to do. Um, I've actually only used Postgres like twice. So yeah, yes, yeah, so the first one, we ran the DMS replication process for about 10 days. I'm not sure what the DMS was. Was that the original or was that like the transactions? I'm not sure. Yeah, new changes across. Yeah, so they just ran that to like make sure that the data was correct. And and sometimes that's what you'll do. You'll give a week or two or three where you're just running both parallel and you're just monitoring and checking the new database to see if the new database is incorrect. And you don't want to like switch over until you feel pretty confident that like that database has the records and it's keeping the records and you're not like missing records and that kind of stuff. So um, yeah, kudos to the United Kingdom, whatever department this is, or ministry, or whatever, digital services. Why they better have minimal downtime, right? Like they're the representatives of, in terms of government offices, like if the digital services is having problems with digital stuff, then that's a pretty bad look. So anyway, congratulations to the government of the United Kingdom. Noisy brain may underline some of autism's sensory features. Alpha fold. I was looking into doing some folding stuff. That takes a lot of computation, um, and I just don't have those resources available to me. So I've never really had a chance to really explore too much with it. Random animations. That's cool. If it's true random, like that's something I really want to poke into as well as like write my own algorithm for randomness. So I'm just clicking the button. I'm not. There's not even a button. I'm just clicking. So that's doing whatever it's doing. And don't look. I'd like to look at the code to see if it's actual random. I'm just clicking to like generate a new one. Something tells me this isn't very random because why would it come up to a square and a triangle? I get what they're doing, but that's pretty cool. I wonder if this person has like why wouldn't you like open source this? That's cool. Like and by the way, we're at like just over 12 minutes or just about we'll be 12 minutes in a second here in a couple seconds. I'm not logged in here. Can I type anyway? I don't know if I can. Is it on GitHub? Who posted this? Garlelet or whatever. Oh, I'm not gonna post anything. I was gonna say something, but like I don't know enough about what's going on here. I don't want to read it. That's cool though. Nice job. Um, the case for single stair cracking the code of linear B. My AI costs went from $100 to less than $1 a day fine tuning Mixtral. See, like that's cool. I want to get into Mixtral and oh my email address. There you go. I said it would eventually become public who I am. Um, So what's going on here? My AI-powered career exploration app, Wanderer, has been experiencing explosive growth, and my GPT-4 costs were starting to pile up, $100 plus a day. Here's the playbook I used to lower my AI cost by 99% while also decreasing latency and maintaining quality. Start with the most powerful node or model for your app's use case. For 95% of companies, this is GPT-4, not GPT-4 Turbo. You want the best quality output, and we'll be using this to fine-tune a smaller model. Store your AI request responses so they can be easily exported. I personally use Helicone for this and love it. Easy swap in with OpenAI's API, and it stores all of your AI requests in an exportable table. Once you've collected 100 to 500 plus request response pairs, export them and clean the data so that the inputs and outputs are of higher quality. If you collect feedback from your users, thumbs up, thumbs down, you can potentially use this as well. With the clean data set, use a hosted OSS AI service, open source, I think, like Together or Anyscale to fine-tune Mixtral 8x7b. You can also try to fine-tune GPT 3.5 Turbo on OpenAI, but I've personally gotten better results from Mixtral. Swap out GPT-4 with your fine-tuned model and enjoy your healthy margins. Yeah, okay. I mean, like, that's the thing is, like, did you even need to collect any results to do that? How I'm relearning math as an adult. Hey, see, like, here's the thing is, like, there's people out there that are doing really cool things on their own, and I like that. I want to do a lot with mathematics and relearning. I'm trying to clone this. 1 second. There we go. And then I'll open it again. LSS. But maybe he has a pointer. Wait, is he doing it in GitHub? Yeah. Oh no, it's not. It's something else. That looks like GitHub. I thought it was GitHub. That's cool. What's this? Is that him? It might be. Yeah, kudos. I'll give that a read later, or maybe just scan over it one more time and say kudos again. Meta documents show 100K. Oh, okay, that's sad. Let's scroll down past that. That's sad, but gotta be careful about what the content of this is. White space does not matter in C-Lane 23. Oh, that's nice. There's, yeah. RSA is deceptively simple and fun. I agree. Let's open a new tab like that. Yeah, we'll do some RSA stuff. What's funny is it's really hard to find the original algorithm. It took me like 3 days to find PKCS1, like to download it. And it was on another computer. I don't even have it. I literally was searching the entire internet for it. I wonder if this is it or if this is just a wiki. Yep. See, you have to like you have to go out of your way to download this. It's absurd, and all it is code, and it's not even bad code. It's code that like cryptographically signs data. I went down the rabbit hole trying to find the source code, and it was a tarball, and I had to torrent it. And I was like, is it really like why isn't that more pervasive? Like that should be like on like Internet Archive or something, right? Anyway, yeah, I totally agree. I wonder if he has the link to download it, or if he just implemented it himself. I wanted the original source code because you know, it's kind of cool to like see the original, you know, version of something. I guess if you know the algorithm, you can implement yourself in whatever language you want. How DOS was able to use most of the 1 MB address space. That's good. Powered certificates of the Fediverse. Or Pwn certificates, okay. Um, Identifying Rust collect memory leak foot gun. Alright. Virtual tour of Museum of Failure. This would be more interested to me if I was deeper in Rust. I want to get deeper into Rust, but, like, there's other things too. What happened to the U.S. machine tool industry? Well, there's still incredible people all over the planet building great things. Particularly, like, a lot of companies are now in, like, Vietnam, um, and, like, Pakistan and stuff, building, really good stuff. I know that, well, I'm not going to name any companies, but there are good companies that are, American companies. For what it's worth, they're American companies, right? It's irrelevant, but the topic is about America here. Um, there's American companies that still build in America, and there's American companies that outsource to other countries. That's where the industry went. History is written. No, it's not always. Um, WebGPU is now available on Android. That's cool. From ancient Egypt to Japanese pop culture. Da, 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 da. What about Meta? Okay. Escaping surveillance capitalism at scale. Okay. I made a website to share rejection letters. Good for you. Ditching platform as a service. I went back to self-hosting. See, like, there's good and bad. Like, I've done cloud computing for 7 years, 8 years, kind of throughout a lot of this, right? With, like, AWS. I wasn't like I wasn't using AWS when it was just, S3, right? But I was using AWS in, like, 2011, uh, and well, actually 2012, late 2012, and then through 2013, 2014 is really where I really started doing, like, cloud stuff, and then, um, yeah, I mean, I had a manager in a non-engineering. Well, it was different. It was a call center where I was dealing with Linux problems, right, for customers, um, in the voice over IP industry, and um, my manager in tech support said, uh, hey, I don't like cloud. We're gonna not like an old boomer, but, he was saying, I don't like cloud, and eventually we'll all just go back to self-hosting. Yeah, I mean, it's the cycle. They tried doing something with, like, cloud before, like, with BBSs in, like, where you would have someone else host something, and then on the BBS, on the bulletin board, back when, like, it was pre-dial-up, even, or it was dial-up, I guess. Um, and you'd have to pay your phone. You'd have an exorbitant phone bill, but you would store files on someone else's computer because, like, you know, someone else had more memory, and then, like, pretty soon your computer was powerful enough, and then pretty soon, like, more computers were powerful than the computer you could get, and then people now are realizing, wait a second, like, most of the things I don't need up there, on some data center in Los Angeles. I can just, like, most of the stuff I have, I can just have here, and that's what I'm honestly surprised Web3 hasn't really done this yet. Like, why can't I just run the damn app here? And why do I need to, like, run it? Why do I have to go to your website? Like, I know that there, it's just not. I wish it was more pervasive that people were interacting with dApps locally through, like, an app on my phone that allows me to interact with these dApps. So I'm on my phone and I'm connecting directly to Ethereum. I don't or whatever, Solana. I don't need to like go to your website through my browser. Like I can just have a wallet on my phone that does this all, you know. And there are some people that are doing it, but it's still like, you know, but still you can't self-host everything. You know like you can self-host to an extent, but like at some point like a transaction on the blockchain is going to like the data is going to leave you and it's going to go to the pool of data, you know, that then gets processed by the blockchain. So the data is going to be there's going to be things that are self-hosted and there's things that are still going to be in the cloud, and then you know it's just always going to be a shuffle of what it is, and then like but you're never going to be able to like the whole point of a ledger like blockchain like Bitcoin specifically actually is that everyone is keeping tabs of the ledger. So you can't just have the blockchain. You can't just install Bitcoin on your computer and like turn off the internet and walk away, and then like your computer now has Bitcoin. Like that doesn't work that way. It has to be a peer-to-peer system. You have to be connected to everyone else. So there, but yeah, you can host it yourself. Um, and there's going to be and there and really no one. I don't think there's so many people that are actually doing Bitcoin locally anymore. Most of it is data centers with 45, 50,000 miners. You know, it's just and then those people are spending a lot of money and making the money too. And then you on the side, you're spending money, and then maybe if you're part of a pool, you get some cash out of that, or you're hodling. Um, Queues don't fix. I think a lot of this we looked at yesterday. Um, so we got minimize LLM hallucinations. I mean, that's cool. All right, this didn't crash. It's been, I don't even know, 1500 divided by 60 seconds. Is it like 15 minutes? No, it's not 15 minutes. It would be like 20 minutes, right? No, it's definitely not 20 minutes. Let's open my phone. I think it's 15 minutes. But that's not, that doesn't make sense. It's not 15 minutes. Let's see. 1500 divided by 60 is 25 minutes. All right, okay, yeah. So we've gone 25 minutes and it hasn't crashed. I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. Peace. If I can remember the key combination. It was Q, right? Was it these two? I don't want to quit OBS, I just want to stop it. And I can click the button, but I want to do it. I need to get in the habit of running the commands. Alright, let's see why it's not. Let me see something real quick. I have this in the way. I'm trying it.